très ancien Yves Canet à Seigneur-Okaï. Le grand frère Oula Michael. Allons seulement. Là, c'est maintenant. On est ici, on y a oui, aucune affaire, on a tapé d'abord. Oh, j'ai pas mon père. Quand il y a un bled, son forme, son forme, c'est un papa. Moi, j'ai oui, que ouais. On est quoi, pour ça, oui, oui. You didn't do this, yeah. As long as they're not, yeah, wait. On y est, ça va. Look, you want to stop around the way. Sorry, sir. Mon grand frère fait Ahmed depuis très longtemps. Allez, ça, de blanc. Le pays où est moi, m'a dit. Le pays m'a dit à quitter. Le pays où est moi, m'a dit. Ce pays qui a du pas même. Le pays où est moi, m'a dit. Ce pays la dernière fois, c'est moi. Le pays qui a mon dit, on a dit, il n'a pas dit à nous comment. Merci beaucoup, grand frère. À tout coup, Benjamin. Vous allez bien? Ça, on y a où? Apparemment, dit par moi. Monsieur le maire, Jésus, applaudit. Le président M. Paris, on est ensemble. Le confédéral, Lucien Firmin, président Système Barthélemy, Maïs Paris, président des jeunes du Cuba. Merci beaucoup. Saïd Colin, Ahmed Saïd, Samuel Séa. Simon,
Good evening. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Francis Sort of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. Thank you for being here this evening. All right, good evening. Thank you so much for being here. I'm Alfonso Z and Sort of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. We say happy 2024 to all our viewers, our followers. Your commitment to this network cannot be overemphasized. I am like a paramount chief from Grandjide behind Town this evening. Thank you so much. We're going to be having a conversation here, but I want to retrospect some of the things that happened in the year 2023. We are gradually, it's 7:09 Eastern Standard Time, but by faith, we all can say by now, by the grace of God, we will overall triumphantly to roll into 2024. And hopefully we would count on some of the things, the challenges that we're facing during the 2023, and that will completely be washed away. But that also depends on us. But let's go to this music from neighboring La Côte d'Ivoire. So very shortly they're going to be here. Let me just stop this here. Let's start this music here and give recognition to our folks. I can't pick up this call right now in the middle of stuff here. Mr. Cremant, there are very folks here who are so committed to the work of this network. We say happy New Year. Trust me, and all of you guys that are here, to God, by the time you enter January, there's going to be an incredible pay increase. Incredible one, but you got to give me what? At least 2%. 1% said that it's okay. We say good evening, good morning, wherever you are. Tanora Khan, Camerot Amarat. If this is the first time, we say you are wholeheartedly welcome. This is the official news outlet of the Liberia Public Radio and Lpr-Tv. I am your host here, Anga Alfonso Z and so here. We'll be having a little different conversation here. Hopefully, the analyst is going to join me here. Aaron Toba, good evening. Kafumbat Kroman, thank you so much. Always here. We do appreciate your time, your energy, your passion, and for whatever we do. For you guys, you accept us. You know, sometimes we sound ridiculous on this network, especially the liberal. Yes, I will call your name, especially the liberal. Sometimes he sounds so ridiculous on this network here, but nothing to deter you guys, because all you want to know is to get the best out of your country, and so you're still hanging in here. Happy belated Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year for those of you that we have not interfaced. I will say happy New Year. So we want to say this because after this year, the next live broadcast will be in New Year. So I think it makes sense to let you know at this time. UJ Philip, thank you for being here. Palette Gray, Kakbo Akwe Vavle, thank you so much. Diallo Amadut Dian, we're going to do the best we can to give recognition to all of you for your time. Momota Vasily, thank you so much. Mamadou Bobot Ba, whatever you are watching, and of course, our prime time viewers, listener, follower, Fatumata VM Sherry, thank you so much. Hopefully you, your families, and everybody doing great. And to all of you here this evening, we say 2024, we need to renew ourselves. If the country is to be changed, we are the inhabitants of the country. The country is just a place. So and we need to have some social conversation here. And I hope most of you, let me just make sure and hook their phone line up here. We really appreciate the analyst Tabatari always on here. They get their side. When the day not break go on your side, then they flip up. I want to give you the chance here this evening, hopefully, to count on some of the things, some of the bizarre things that you saw and you witnessed in 2023, be it politics, social, whatever it is. You should have the ability to speak. So we say to Fatumata, thank you so much for your commitment. Bendu Kiawu, thank you so much for coming here. Tabakle, Edward Frank, and Horoshiri, you were one of the first to jump in the hall and giving those beautiful emoji of a Happy New Year. Thank you so much for being here. And we need to have this sort of conversation here. The number will be here. The number is also available via WhatsApp, just in case if you are not in the US and you outside of America, be it Europe, Asia, to Liberia, to whatever any part of the world. Yet messages crazy coming in from Liberia, wishing Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. The one and still people still calling, anything can happen. The no same wave is operating. And I guess you guys are also receiving the last minute to time wake up. Hillary Clinton said 3 a.m. call. These 3 a.m. calls that are coming now is to send wave or do any kind of thing, and because people want to have a start. Samson Kamara, Erwin, thank you so much. Yomo Pen, Flomo Peewee, Snow Command, of course. Thank you so much. Come on, you in South Korea? I didn't know that. Wow, what is the time there? If I have to look at it, and I must every night. I would say every night. Thank you so much for your time with us here. We do appreciate. I think this is more than giving money. Money, more or less, is a secondary thing, but people commitment is what is important, and the relationship we all have built as a family to interface, to have these critical national conversation, hearing from us, we hearing from you as well, regardless of our own political differences. This is a tolerance that we should be having for this coming 2024. So Joseph Boyka, Ambassador Joseph Boyka, soon to be inducted president, he's on the doorstep to the presidency. His success is not just only with him. We got to get that clear here. His success is not only with him. People that even with him that supported him, don't be surprised. Some of them will start doing stuff out of the way. And the thing that he as a president should be magical in his doing stuff. So the president calls people around him. The leader calls people. Okay, my man says, yeah, I'm not going to be like the liberal here who, when people come in and he all over the place rumbling and stuff like that. Let me bring in Sissy Boya. It's a senior analyst of the Liberia Public Radio, Lpr-Tv, based in Minneapolis, Minnesota. By the way, not me. The liberal calls in the Minnesota politician. But guess what? These guys are hanging up now. They brought in another guy called Terry. He another Minnesota politician. I'm hearing whether maybe you're going to be the religious advisor overseer to Ambassador Boyka. People are looking for position, all kinds of ways. I think I need to start finding one. So let me just bring in Sissy, and we're going to have this conversation. My dear brother and friend, the scholar himself, Sissy Guaya. How are you?
I'm good. How are you doing, Mr. So? Why you always got to push up fire before you do something? You want more flower between me and liberal before you even show up, man.
The man, guess what? You know me, my own. I get no secret. He said he come and gave what's his name? Oh, Amos George. He's getting ready to label Amos George now. He got some kind of name. Oh. But you remember he started calling that name yesterday, the last 2 days. Some kind of person you've been hearing that, right? You know what he did to what his name, Professor Zawo here? He changed his CDC professor. Something told is ridiculous, unbelievable. Okay, my dear brother Ty, good evening and welcome and happy New Year. And before we start off on, I want to say thank you so much. Thank you. I mean, words are inadequate. I think we have built a relationship here strongly so much. I visited the Loma Jew, served me with great breakfast and stuff like that, running all around. And I think, connection starts in so many forms and shape. It was a one phone call that you placed here, you remember? And that was the turning, turning point.
The Lofa senatorial stuff.
I love our senatorial stuff. And that was the turning point and of being connected. And since then, trust me, we rub shoulder. But the good thing about it, we don't keep anything in mind,
No.
Sometimes you're ready, you can treat me some kind of way, you can collude or whatever.
No collusion. The former president said no collusion was formed.
No, but right now is I don't know. I love this country here. The way the people, the laws in this country, the way they can hold people, I swear to God. Yeah, it doesn't matter. They will be so nice to you, but when that power is taken away, oh man, all those privileges and immunity that you get, forget it. They go away.
But okay. I think there was a point you were making, and I don't want it to be lost on our audience. It's the way we behave on this platform. It's so different, and I mean refreshingly different. People who don't know that we're arguing in our chat room like crazy.
Oh.
We'll go back and forth in our chat room.
We'll sleep. Like broadcast sleep. You as the broadcast sleep.
I was talking away. He just say, I don't care, make it I had it kind of way. I'm still talking my thing. But once we're done with that, we're done. We keep it respectful. We disagree vehemently. We keep it respectful. We keep it moving. We have different opinions. And I think if people just understood and operated that way through our country, things would be different. You can disagree, but respectfully disagree, and don't burn down the bridge while you disagree. Like you never need that to go over the river, you know. So yeah. I'm grateful for being on this platform. Thank you, and all the jokers are you and Mr. Toe for all the opportunities you guys have afforded and the brotherly friendship. Mr. Topa, you treat me like a son. So for their relationship, I'm really grateful.
You see, what I always say, you are colluding with this guy. The man who visited you here, never visited you.
The man went all the way to my office 2 days to a picture saying,
I visited you. Who? He ever visited you?
Oh, the man stopped at the office. You remember that?
He get passed through. I slept in your house. And you're talking about what? So I should get a credit. Now the man just pass there and go take picture because he wants to make a case out of that.
That's true.
Please don't do that to me. Yeah, but I mean, as a matter of fact, I would say you guys, you're coming in, and many others are added pageantry, more value, authenticity into our national conversation, because this thing is so exhausting sometimes. People get the thing about it. I guess they know we can push our own 16 whatever hours, but yet still we come here, you know. So for people for you to be taking your time, energy away from families to have this conversation 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever, be it 30 minutes, even 5 minutes, and that's a lot. That's another way of giving to the country. So I think we'll be pushing here and there here to have this sort of conversation. 2023 concluding, we're going to 2024. We all want good Liberia, vibrant Liberia, but it is not just only in the hands. The president, the chief executive, drives the agenda. He will be the decision policy maker, but he's going to be incorporating people are going to be working with him. So those people that are coming to work along with the president, who you're going to tap into so that they can run as a unit, as a group, as a team player, they have a greater interjet to play. And not just only them, we the citizenry as well. Things that comes out of our mouth, things that we talk, these sort of so-called proclamations that we made out there, they all does have impact on the country. Looking at all what is going on here, we want to go both socials and different forms here. I think sometimes we need to have this sort of plain conversation so that people will know. How can this be worked out?
Well, I think it starts with us who know better. Once you know better, you ought to do better. And so I'm talking because there's not a way you form a government in Liberia without diaspora involvement. So to all of our brethren and sisters that are going to be blessed to be called upon to serve the motherland. And, you know, people take things for granted, Mr. So in a country of over 5 million, and in the diaspora where we are almost 200,000 plus scattered all over the globe, to be called amongst almost 6 million people to go and serve. I don't know if people don't understand the weight and the value that brings, that they should take it very seriously. Because for every one CZ Goya that you call to come and serve, there are 10 other people way more qualified. And so I should take that as a blessing, as a chance given to me to serve my ancestors and serve my brothers and sisters. But they don't do it, sadly. And so when I say it's on us who are in this diaspora to make sure that when we are called back to go home and help, we lead by example. And those of us that won't get called, when we get on these platforms, speak truth to power. I can hold Joseph Boakai accountable. That doesn't mean I don't mean well for him as a president. But you know me for that. I can hold my own man Gonglo accountable. Doesn't mean I don't mean him well, but at the end of the day, for me, what matters most is Liberia. Liberia over any personal relationship I got with any politician. And I think that starts with us, because when we start to do that, when we start to hold people accountable without, like you always say, we all protect our own alligator, or then the president will understand that people are calling him out. Then the ministers will understand that people are going to be calling them out. Then they will set the stage for the civil servants, for those people to understand that, the B-men are stealing, I'm not supposed to steal, I'm not supposed to do this, I'm not supposed to do this, because we're leading by example. So it starts with us, seriously.
It starts with us. That's a lot. Now, the expectations, I mean, GOL, people are calling for lower expectation. Trust me, that is not guaranteed. If you talk to other people now, they think I come from, rest coming be farther, this one coming be. And so the mind of the people, and I think this is where the media plays a critical role to cut through that corridor, to break that gap, that information that is lacking. But we have multiple outlets with the proliferations of these media institutions. And the thing is, radio program is different from talk show. A political commentator, a propagandist, a journalist, these are two different things. And nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. But this is what the disconnect comes in with the ordinary person who doesn't understand, because if you come on this network here, you're going to get different pieces of information. You're going to get a different news. If you go to Mr. Gilman, you're going to get different news. You go to Spoon, you're going to get different news. You go to 4TV, you're going to get different. You go to Co-Spoon TV, you're going to get a different news. Because these people, they have their own agenda, and nothing wrong with that. And this is where it becomes a little bit dicey, and the ordinary Liberian people are confused. They come here to hear it, they go there to hear different things in different forms and in different contexts. And things that we hear, mentally we process there, and we eventually end up acting on there. And that becomes sometimes dangerous to the society. I don't know, how can this be contained? Any idea?
Well,
into 2024, if we are to have better Liberia, if we are to do the right thing, regardless of our position, who we support, who we do not support, but we take a holistic part, say, hey, we are doing this for the country, not necessarily the individual.
The Liberian media landscape is becoming like the American media landscape, where people go to their own, they go to the echo chambers, they go to places that
have fun. I knew your time.
Validate their thought process, right? Yeah. And so people who are known to be conservatives used to be Fox, now they go to OAN and all the other places. And, right. the liberals will always be at MSNBC and CNN. But you have the CBSs of the world that cut through.
Right. NBC.
Right.
As well.
You have the NPR of the world, the national public radios, and the local, like here we have Minnesota Public Radio. They cut through the quarter. So for me, it's almost like what I usually tell my students when I'm reading an output of a research. I want to know what lens you want me to wear. If a research comes out and says soft drinks, Coke, pop, soda, whatever you call it in your part of America, is good for you, I want to be able to read who sponsored that. Was it sponsored by the soft drink industry? People telling me that red meat is good for me. I want to see who sponsored that, so that when I'm reading their report, I know what lens through which to look at their report. And so I think you asked me, how do we fix that? It's not going to be possible to get people who are super fanatical about the CDC to go to those places where they just talk everything, even if they will see facts smacking them in the face and they look at it differently. And people who support the Union Party government, you're not going to stop them from going to their own platform and getting praise sinkers there, right? But I think what we can do is to occupy that space of the NPR, and very apropos, we are the LPR, to cut through, and I don't want to use the word, but to cut through the mess and let people understand that what you heard over there, here is a lens you should be looking at this thing through. What you heard over there, here's the lens you should be looking at this through. If I come out here and say Loma people are the smartest people in Liberia based on the research I conducted, somebody ought to first check to see who did the research. Do I have something? Do I have something to gain by that? Not that you throw the whole research away, but that you keep that in the back of your mind. That, this was a Loma guy who did this research. Let's keep that in the back of our mind. Then let's look at the data. So I think, and it come back again to my first answer I gave you, it's on us. And this time the us is us that sit on platforms like the LPR. That yes, we come with our sides. And one of the good things you made us to do on this network was to tell the people which side we are backing. So that when I'm speaking on electoral issue, people understood that. So they kept their lens. So that whatever I said, they used that to sift it. But if I just came and hid the fact that I supported Kiwangonglo and just spoke without letting the people know what was my bend, then that would be unfortunate for our audience. And I think that's one of the things we do on LPR that is marvelous. And I think we need to just keep doing that and just calling out other places where the news is not balanced, and just tell our people, hey, it's okay to go there and listen, but they're giving you a lens. They got a prescription lens for you. Put that lens on and understand what they're giving you to read.
And people, for some reason, people quick to accept. So I see this this struggle with quality and quantity, and most of the time people goes with quantity because it's big, but the quality tells you the details and everything. And like you said, like in our chat room last night, right? Something was going on, and I was just looking at the like,
still going on.
Oh yeah. So sometimes I try to be the last to speak or to say something because part of that. You guys are great, smart people, but when people see you as the hair, you got to absorb and see why it is. Do not be the, to get a parable that say in the town, the elder, you can't be the first man to run to see the ugly near the bamboo. When bamboo, you the elder, you go there, look at the bamboo. Bamboo is an ugly animal already. But when you proclaim and pronounce that, you're giving the young folks the chance to do whatever they can do, and maybe they can beat that today. And I think that is important for us here because Liberia is at a consequential junction. And the media has a very great interjet part to play. And it is difficult with us in the sense that all of these people, they have their supporters, they have their bases, they have their demographic that they speak to. And I've kept seeing this here. Sometimes people say, but why I can't bring people here? Of course, we reach out to people. Didn't I tell you about even Senator Zopano was supposed to be here? Yeah, but again, our job is to reach out to them. It is at their will and pressure and say, hey, time, my car tire, boss, so right now I need to face my car tire. Oh, I get this phone call here. And that's how the politicians behave because they want a pathway. They always want an easy way to go through. So when people invite them, they have their people, oh, you go down there, you get one guy down there. That man, no question is this and that. I mean, don't go there. We are advising you. All sort of advisors all over here. We have to deal with it. But here is the question: how should I don't know what can the media be streamlined? It's just a difficult thing. It's just a very, very, very difficult thing. Why should be the expectation, of people? Why should they? Are they the ordinary citizen? Are they holding the media gurus accountable or things to say, or we just say it and it's acceptable? The wrong with it, they take it as a news and they get it going like a wildfire.
Well, it is human nature to want to listen to people who affirm your bias. That is why even during the war, when focus on Africa issue come on, and Chatterer about to speak, and Tom Woyu about to speak, people running to listen, those people who were in favor of it, they will amplify everything that came from there. And those people who were pro-government would dismiss everything that came from there. And pro-government people will go to the likes of Emmanuel Buya, the late peace be to your ashes, and other people. So listen to them. And so it's always been human nature, Mr. So you and I here, you don't want to hear anything that you don't agree with, right?
Right.
And what is even compounded the issue is the proliferation now because of the internet, the proliferation of journalists. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry with an internet, with a Facebook account is not a journalist, right? They hear go live and say anything. Or last time I was laughing at somebody. They were asking some questions, and the guy was like, "Man, I just said it here, asked me the same question." I said, because the journalist was not listening.
And this is sometimes
it's just somebody with an internet and a smartphone. And so, but here is where I think smarter heads have to come in. I think there has to be a focus on civil society, having a non-biased, an unbiased, non-governmental entity that will issue credibility, and say this site is credible. This statement is credible. This statement is false. This site has been known to have 70% falsehood. So when you go there, remember the news you get there, most of it is garbage. It's like here in America, there's this online network called Onion. The Onion just make fun of the news. It's not real news. So people who don't know it, when you go get it, think it's real news. It's not, right? When you go on One American Network, that's where you're going for the conspiracy theory. Everybody knows that that's where you're going to go to get your Donald Trump on, and you're going to get all your thing Trump like, and you're going to get out of there. And if anytime you research any of those sites, there are websites that will tell you what are the credibility of those places. I think that's what we need to do, because now it's going to be very difficult to tell citizens, don't listen to the president, listen to the president. Who can you tell somebody who's been used to somebody causing man cause, don't go listen to the person causing man cause? It's not possible no more, because they get their news, their entertainment, and their whatever else the man cause can do from their excitement from that one place, that one-stop shopping at Walmart for them. But you have to be able to tell these people, look, the news we get from these places, be careful with it. And there has to be credible organizations that have to do that. And I see a space for a civil society group that could be able to do that, to help our people understand the information they're consuming so they know how to digest it.
Yeah, talking about entertainment, there has been another aspect that have inserted itself into the media industry, which people find more of a pleasure now to go there to do their free therapy. They go there, people make fun. Sometimes, you insert some political satire just to entertain the audience, but it has become sort of rampant. So people go to those places and they enjoy those things, create some sort of havoc, but people love those things, and they think it's something that is appealing. So what's about the politicians themselves?
Well, again, politicians are in the game. They're always in the game, right? It's a winning game. So wherever I can go to get the numbers, I'll go there. Wherever people are listening to, whatever think. Look, when I ran for office, one time I sat down, I was putting together my whole platform and everything. I was writing it out. And so Democratic strategist here in the state that told me, is Mr. Goya, this is great. Librarians will have to put all kind of things together, right? Having BB word there. He said, this is good and everything. He said, but here's what I want you to do. He said, when you go up to the doors to these people, to ask these people what they want. Be prepared. If you are interested in housing affordability, you know what you're going to talk about there. But ask them what they want. If they tell you housing, you talk about your housing plan. You ask them what else would they need. So that they were framing the conversation. The conversation of the doors were being framed by what my constituents were talking to me about.
You're right. The priority of your constituent.
Right. So politicians will do their way. If going on a cussing platform is knowing that that's where all the voters are, the majority, that's where the people are going to go. Look, real quick, remember this guy Jon Stewart from the Daily Show? It was on Comedy Central. They do these political satires. At one point in time, he was on CNN. They were interviewing him about him, he doing fake news. And people go there. Is he worried that people are going there and they're not getting the actual news. It's just a comedic spin on the news. He said the fact that people leaving your CNN to come to me for news means there's a problem wrong with y'all. Because I'm in the comedy business. People should not come to a comedian for the news. And so I think when you talk about the entertainment piece, the fact that our people are going to entertain us to get news, to get credible news, I think speaks a lot about us who are not in the entertainment business. That maybe somehow, somewhere, we're dropping the ball, and we need to think about how else to rethink and re-engage our people.
Rethink and re-engage our people. Okay, like I said, we're going to be pulling the string here and there, and hopefully we're going to open the phone lines as well, so we will hear from our people, our followers. To all of you just come in, if you just come in, it's better late than never. You are on the official news outlet of the Liberia Public Radio. We are on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, LinkedIn. I just like subscribe so that you'll be able to get a notification. And many people call me that I must say I can screw it up. Sometimes the notification, it triggers. So you got to go like to one of the old videos or live videos. You're going to see the bell icon. When you hit that bell icon, there's going to be a drop button. You want to go to one that says all notification. When you use select, it means it just a randomly going to pick up. So you want to be very careful. Go to all notifications, and that way, yeah. You know, I'm a chief son, so the total man when you can't wear a commissioner higher, who gonna make
the policy man office? Why am I just pressing you? The thing I get close on.
Yeah, European stuff. You on what? How you call it? What avenue again? Every day you teach your destination. So I'm
northeast.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, so I mean, that's the challenge. Okay, let's talk about 2023. A lot of things happening. Who you think really screw up politics were politicians in the 2023? Is it fair to say that? Is there somebody that you think that really missed a golden opportunity and maybe sitting down today thinking, I should have made a decision of my own, be a person of myself, even though I have advisors and stuff like that. But sometimes your own conscience, you have to make some decisions and people will not like you. Who you think missed a sort of golden ball? You know, I just later on started thinking about that, and because Lpr was blowing this trumpet here, but he was blowing it in a very condescending way. That's the problem that I had. You know, he can just talk it in that kind of way. You know, no polishing, nothing. He just talk it. Who you think would have done something different in this 2023 ended election? By this time, we could have been talking about this person.
It is other comments.
Wow, you're more than Kasuse. So let's have a conversation, because this I've been hearing this often over and over. And Lepro started this trumpet here, but what I disagree with was he wasn't creating the avenue where there would be a conversation. He wants it to be automatic, and I don't think that was the right way. But when you say Arizona Cummings, why Arizona Cummings?
There are a lot of reasons. First of all, this is a statistical anomaly. This is a once in a lifetime thing that happened, where a very smart fellow, very learned, by all measures, the ideal leader that we need to raise Liberia from where we all say it's not supposed to be right now to higher heights. He's worked in the corporate world. He knows what it means to, what merger and acquisition mean, what hostile takeover, buying other companies, merging with them, bringing their employees on board, making sure everybody fit into the new corporate culture that you have already, right? Dealing with all of those internal frictions. This guy had done all of that. A self-made millionaire. Came in the first elections, got about 7%. Everybody said he came in late to the game. And the biggest argument against him was that he was a stranger. And so he says, okay, fine. You say I'm a stranger, I will stay. I will introduce myself to the whole country. He stayed. The first time in Liberian political history where after elections and opposition remain focused in the country and not leave. You and I know after every Liberian election, opposition always die away. They wait till maybe 1 year before the next election, they come back up. But it was not this time around. He stayed. Right? They even formed, they did a merger and an acquisition. They came together as a CPP. For you to do all of that and not add to your prior numbers, percentage, but actually decline drastically. For me, I there's no way I can call him as the one person who has to be, for all intents and purposes, thinking critically about what could have happened. And for me, I see a lot of things that went wrong, and we call them out here. And people, number one, he wasn't getting good advice. He got bitten by the sycophancy bug. That is something that goes around a lot. It's even more than the mosquito carrying, the malaria carrying mosquitoes. They bite people quite too often, like bro, these sycophants that tell you everything is happening great when it's not, and they build these walls and keep and put you in a cocoon and keep you away from everybody else, like what happened to President George Weah. I think that happened to him too. And then he started bringing people on board that had he should have been bringing on board, especially based on the conversation he was having. Look, let me tell you real quick. The first thing, going and bringing the car frame, the frame of Liberty Party, and allowing somebody else to carry the engine was a big mistake. Ibrahim Musa and Belé, there were no vote. Absolutely no vote. And the signs were there all along the way. But he wanted to stay true to loyal to a fort. And in politics, you can't do that. You always got to recalculate.
Let's take a break. So once we take a break, let's kind of do an engagement so that the audience too will follow. So where is the break in Gabia in terms of his decision making administratively and be able to be yourself? Because you should have an idea. You can see, you observe, you went around, you hear people talking, but yet you are unable to make decision. Is it that can that be tried being indecisive, or you know what, this is not happening? So how can what kind of leadership then style is in such a person? Because if you see that, it's better we talk these things here. Because what happened in the first round, we say, okay, he went in late, but this time he came in time. They form whatever coalition, take him over the document. And at the end of the day, it ended up like this. There is a blame game still playing out there. His numbers or his vote was given to different person. Just hold on 1 second. Let me just bring in the label, and I'm going to be off the screen for 1 minute.
The liberal welcome.
Thank you. I don't know why I show up and the man run away.
The man phone call coming through. I don't know why the two decided to show up like chiefs today. I the only European men today on the network.
So that means we're in a perfect position to discuss Liberia than you are.
I'm discussing the repatriation and the resettlement of our enslaved brothers and sisters. So y'all talk about how we made it.
By the way, I really admire the picture you put up today.
Oh, thank you.
Where you were telling us where you started 2023 and how this is something that just speak a lot. That picture spoke a lot on issues. Not that you're trying to touch your own home, but why not? Chicken say, "I swear, so what?" But the main thing I took out of that picture was anyone. It doesn't matter how old, how young, as long as you're focused and you feel there's no limitation on what you do, you will do anything, because it's a matter of preservation. It's a matter of not stopping. continue to learn. Continue to learn.
Sometimes you want to be. Are you guys hearing me?
Yeah.
Why you put me on the other side now?
You see,
You know,
I beg you.
Why you put me on
the
team? Why I don't belong there?
Imagine the live covering your face.
Yeah, there we go. Thank you. And now you're cooking with pepper with soup.
Yeah, sometimes their joy you can just want to say, and your joy, your phone. Yeah, man. What kind of people then they don't have time for, they don't care for people.
When your job gives you a cell phone.
Think about this country here. When they give you a responsibility,
yeah.
I mean, if they see anything, they just gotta make sure. Anyway, it is I get a man to throw their cell phone where say you come for yourself.
Your job give you a cell phone. That's
yeah.
an other problem right there. You get a work cell phone, it's a problem.
This is crazy. What? So you buy how they say you want to do your okay, my last name before I start talking crazy to you. The Lpr, good evening.
No, continue talking. I'm listening to you.
Oh man, he no help to anything. All right, I don't want to be there.
Good evening, Mr. So thank you.
Yeah. So yeah, okay. Sister, you were talking. I'm sorry, that was my
Yeah. So you were asking about the leadership style, and I think what Mr. Cummings tried to do was to delegate responsibility and be this new age collaborative leader. But in politics, and I don't blame him because he doesn't understand the Liberian political landscape, and that's a fact. And so he was
why it takes to understand the political landscape. You went into the race. You should do his due diligence. He should talk to people. He should get those signals, good and bad, and make his own informed decision.
But that's the point I'm talking, because he was talking to people. The Liberian political system is not such that we've had a lot of academics write papers about that we can read and say, here is the Liberian political climate, here is what I read, here's what I need to be ready to enter, and this is what I need to know. There is no such research. So you have to rely on the players, the past players. And I think that's what he did, but I think he relied on them way too far. Look, the one place I knew that Mr. Cummings had drawn the line in the sand was when he came from abroad. There was supposed to be a program that he was having, and that welcome program was being held at the Liberty Party headquarters. When the Liberty Party was already in crisis, they were suing and counter-suing each other, going to NEC and all the other pieces. And he chose to go to Liberty Party headquarters, and his people argued that the man has the right to go anywhere and host a program. And I say, yes. Just because it is your right to do something doesn't mean it's the right thing to do. And that was the beginning of the total damaging of anything, because that was when Liberty Party just kind of chakla. They said, okay, Musa Berete, the coach say you own Liberty Party, take the car frame, carry it with your one vote, and we take the engine, we carry it on the other side. And for me, that was where everything started to go downhill from there, because from there, they started having these 4 starts, right? In American football, you got these 4 starts, and with the 70K up to today, we're yet to hear about an internal investigation that was done by them to tell us where the blame lies. So from there, things just started cascading, and then he brought on the likes of Daniel Chair, that later on left and went back to the NP to CDC, and then he brought on Toga Greyway McIntosh, that left and went now with Unity Party, and then he brought Louis Brown, who should not have been the face of a retired suffering rally. And the retired suffering rally, the turn off of the retired suffering rally was the first indication that things were not going to be good for the CPP. Because that turnout was very, very poor. They did not get the bang for their bucks. They put a lot of money into it, and the people that showed up was far too less. And he still had his people. You know that story we read, the Emperor's New Cloth? Back in the day, cavalcade, they were still telling he was nicely dressed because they were taking aerial photographs and just zooming in and say the place was overcrowded, and they were still feeding him this craziness. And so for me, there were so many places to drop the ball. Even on the choice of the VP pick, I don't think they critically thought about it, because I don't think anybody who really critically look at that.
I don't think there was a plan, Sissy.
Because they believe
I try to incite and make themselves viable into this thing. But and your point, then I'm going to bring in the
because
other
they believe that having the daughter of the late Charles Bronski, who has no political linking, no political history whatsoever, was going to deliver the Bastille Belt. That was a gross misunderstanding of Liberian politics.
Grossly understanding by the Liberian politics. The House is nearly in for. Terry Collins is a senior political commentator, another Minnesota politician, strong ally to the Liberal Progressive, is here. Terry, good evening.
Good evening, Mr. So, and the panelists, to the Liberal, to Sissy. Good evening to everybody, and happy incoming 2024.
Okay, so what we're going to do here, we're going to be going through all of the corridor here, putting strengths and stress. We're going to go social, we're going to go political, and sort of take a retrospect the 2023, the political disaster, who was the pink hair and all of those stuff here. So let me bring in the Liberal here. And as I said in your absence, I would say it right in your face. You can't do me nothing. My head not in your mouth, your head not in my mouth. Right? This is the end of the year, so we're going to use some of these ridiculous voices here. Yeah, Blocko, nothing can happen. But Liberal, I know we had a conversation back here today, but accept your expression the way you wanted it to be processed. I have a very strong view, being a moderate Democrat, not like you, the other type here. We were looking at the comments. We try to look at the political process, how it plays out, and things that we should watch for subsequent elections to come. You started with this trumpet here, except I feel your explanation to your reason was condescending, to being disrespectful. You were just pushing to try to shove something in people's throat. Come in, go on a boycott. Come in, go on a boycott. But just from all indications, I've talked to other people, there seems to be a missed opportunity, and probably a sort of refined conversation wasn't created. And again, our people taking those sort of political risk is lacking. It was good for them. Out of 4 teams, I mean 4 parties, it was narrowed down to 2. I thought they would have done the CDC style. CDC made her position no straight. We need a big head. MPP being the next party, say, okay, we're going number 2. And the other guy. Now, from all indications, he seems to be on the track. So coming now, here we are. Look at the last phase of this year. Can this guy come back 2029?
Of course. Thank you, Mr. So it's a very interesting subject matter that I have gotten myself in trouble so many times with ANC group, and they have even questioned my judgment, my political decision-making process as far as they're concerned. But I still stand my ground. I believe that what happened to Cummings is a sad thing for all of us. Because if Cummings has been on this ticket, it would have been like you multiply John Molu twice. However, there were those that was around Cummings that felt within themselves that they don't need help. And what they face to realize, they are not popular. Now, you're facing the most popular person in Liberia, President Weah, who, in fact, misused his popularity. The people around him also misused his popularity and decided to enrich themselves. So Liberian was angry. And the demonstration, not only Liberians alone, sedition, remember CDC was angry. And they demonstrated that during the 2020 election. They came in drove for Senator Dillon, just to show to CDC that yes, indeed, you are sedition, you are CDC, but we also have vote. Do things right. That was a message, a clear message, sending to President Weah and his people. Do it right, we stay with you. If you don't and continue this path, we're not going to stay with you. But that's President Weah. as far as Comey is concerned, I think I said that here on so many occasions. Comey came to this thing after having the election, 2017 election. He himself said, I have an audio here, a video here, where he said people don't know him much, which is true. But that does not negate the fact that Comey, in all, including my own old man, Comey is the most politically savage, not experienced, 2 words now. Ambassador Barker has the experience. But Comey, based on the fact that he has gone through all of the wrangling in terms of his private life, that's the kinds of person, a manager like that you will want to manage a troubled country like Liberia. And Comey would have done such big deal in Liberia. When they came into this, from my perspective now, when they came into this CPC collaboration, Comey decided to trust them. How you look at Bernard Ure and say, I put my trust in you? You already started abusing yourself. Bernard Ure and including my own old man, they are all Liberian politicians. You can't depend on them. You can't. That's who they are. That's their life. Look what happened between Ambassador Barker and Ellen Johnson. The person served you for 11 years. And then time you flip them over. That's Liberian politics. But when Comey came in, he decided, okay, these people are trustworthy. They set up a program to say, hey, we're going to go for, how do you call it? What's the word, primary? If primary don't work, we'll go for CP, whatever.
Yes, and all kinds of people.
Comey believed that he was going to demonstrate to the Liberian people and say that this is what I can do, and people were going to vote for him.
So quickly here, his ultimate goal was to follow he tries to follow the right system to get the right thing done, so that he will be projected being seen.
Day one, Mr. So, Bernard Ure, my own sister, my own uncle, were not into it.
Who your sister?
The beautiful, most important senator who will soon be Senator Pro Tem in the Republic of Liberia, Senator Yomdi Kaka Lawrence. So, and my own uncle, and soon to be President Bakar. On a very serious note, Ambassador Bakar was never going to go second to nobody. So that should have been recognized by Comey from day one. Day one. This old man served for 12 years. Even if you bring elementary students, they will understand that. What Comey should know better. Should I ask this old man to go second to me? He's not going to do it. They all knew that. Another important thing, if you watch, they decided when they were getting ready to crown Ambassador Bakar, they wanted Comey is also in the opposition, but vying for that same position. Comey should be there while they're crowning the ambassador without declaring him the standard bearer. Who does that? But Comey should have known better. Going into this, what I thought Comey and his people were, and Cesar said it correctly, there were people, not that they were not aware of these things, but they can get 1 cent, 2 cents from Comey. By just telling him, Bahu, you're doing good. They think you're in your favor. That kind of Liberian way of doing business. Comey thought that he had it. And that's what I asked him that question here in Sacramento. You trust, but you did not verify. And he agreed with me. He said, yes. But he said something. He said, and that's for me, that was the downfall, the whole thing. He said, I'm a type of person, I'm quick to trust. But if I give you your trust, and you misuse that trust, and I take it back from you, it's difficult for you to regain that. And I think from that point on, things start going downhill. But Comey, lastly, Mr. So, and I will be ridiculous on this one. That's what I do. I'm very good at that. Comey should have put Liberia first. Comey put himself first. And it didn't work out. Comey should have put Liberia first and said, you know what? I know I have the ability to lead. I know once the Liberian people see me as vice president, they will know I can do it. Then your 1% here, he will soon be arguing and Comey is supposed to go beg. That's not what we're saying. That's not what I'm saying. Comey going into this and say, okay, oh man, from day one, I'm coming on you. Let's get that straight right away. Nobody else. And you put that in the document. The government was going to be certified. They were not going to push you out. But when they felt, oh, okay, that's how you want, okay, we'll deal with it. And it's regrettable because Comey has so much to so much.
All right. Okay, my own friend and patron, Amos George.
Please don't call him legendary tonight. Please. It's a New Year Eve. Don't call him legendary because I don't want him to go to New Year thinking that he's a legendary. I am the legendary on this platform.
George, don't mind him. He's throwing unnecessary tension. Terry, let me break in Terry. Yeah, Terry, good evening.
Who cook in our house today? Who cook in our house today?
Labor Bay, never slap Labor Bay, he paid there. I thought you come ignore him, move on.
You know what you do for Josh? He don't cook the train don't like pepper, the train they don't like the half.
That's why I'm talking.
When he cook, you will put pepper inside, they meet everything.
Yes.
But they want
that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Then we say, daddy, they clap it. Then when you don't do that, you put a crumb, you say they say, listen, I didn't get in the end, they say the Mary King, let them go get their stuff. Okay, Terry, let me just bring you in here. You know, this is it's sort of kind of like painful. The dishonesty and people are not honest with people. There were a lot of things. And the worst thing, another aspect was Samson Toussaint was one of those who caused a collateral damage to Cummings when he was defined, and ANC folks were able to kind of regain his status. And I can tell you what that was at that time. There was no live Facebook feud. I remember the faces of ANC those days. The same Professor Wilmer Ray, Kwame Clement, this guy who is the ANC super power guy. They were the faces of ANC. How he came into play, that plane landed to rough. And I don't think that deal was properly set up there. It became a fraction and people were discontent as to how he took over the ANC. That is still there. I'm not sure whether he was able to seal out that deal and everything just went that way. Do you share the views of the liberal Sissy, was it a missed opportunity by Alexander Benedict Cummings? Because, and it quite makes sense. He was talking about the manner in which he was blowing that trumpet, go on the man, go on the man. Tonight, he becomes a little bit much moderate and explicit in his argument. He did not do that. But I know the reason why he was doing that. He was doing it in a very condescending way because he had a pick. He picked a side. He wanted Ambassador Boycott to be here. So he was throwing that garbage, and the ANC people, they were upset. Most of the time after phone calls, people were calling me. We don't like how the Liberal is treating our guy. But that was a political gaming he was doing because his interest was in it. So he was doing everything that this guy would not do it. And he did it right. Now he's softening his tone because whatever he wanted, he gets it. And I know you're going to be supporting him because you are on the same side here. But do you think was that a missed opportunity? Who should have really initiated it? Who didn't exercise political tolerance and to take the risk to say, you know what, let's do it this way here? Do you think Cummings missed an opportunity here? Because Jeremiah Kuhn is in the picture now. And of course, Kuhn going to position himself. I don't know how, depending how your Unity Party going to do it, depending how the Unity Party going to keep the whatever overnight coalition they have now too, how they're going to be accommodated, that's another thing. But the base he coming from is a very critical base to the electoral process in Liberia, Nima County.
Yeah, I think I share some similar views with senior brother Sissy and the Liberal, but I also have a diverse view from the whole Cummings saga. Because if you say missed opportunity, it depends on what kind of opportunity that we're looking at. Because could Cummings even work as a vice president to Ambassador Boycott? I would doubt it. Mr. Cummings cannot work as a vice president to Honorable Boycott. He's not a guy who will be subjected. So for his level of what he termed as opportunity could be diverse. All right. So not because he didn't win. So that means he missed an opportunity. All right. Because his level of opportunity could be different from the level of our opportunity we're looking at. We're looking at an opportunity that Cummings could be the vice president to Honorable Butler. But what if Cummings could not work as vice president to Honorable
Mr.
Butler?
Collins, that's exactly what I'm speaking to, whether he was to take that political risk, considering all of the packages this guy put together. Like I said, 12 term. He was the person who he worked with, Ellen Johnson Sirleaf. We didn't see it. It was invisible. I can't say for sure she didn't do it, but if somebody worked for you for all that years and the person decides to take a race, you go out there to campaign and do all of those kind of things. It was nothing. She just played her own game. So it was obvious that he Boyka could have not, under no circumstances, to have gone to say, okay, I'm going to go on person. What I'm saying, did he coming could have capitalized on that, because they were the four. You had a guy who from nowhere, we just saw him boom. He bumps into it and he becomes the vice president now.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying too, also, Mr. So, because in my opinion, I think Mr. Cummings could take the opportunity, and today maybe he would not be vice president even. All right. But I think Mr. Cummings' problem was that, from my view, he was not his own man. Mr. Cummings was a play. He was a pawn. He was a play on the chess game of Madame Sirleaf. Mr. Cummings was not his own man. And in as much as the ANC people could say anything they want to say, that's my view. You know, please don't come at me. But I think Mr. Cummings had bright ideas. He's a brilliant character, but he was not playing from his own perspective, from his own will. He was being pawned. He was a pawn in the chess game of Madame Sirleaf. And all that came to light in the final end of the elections. We saw how Dara Dillon and Yombli Kanga-Lauren exposed the chess game in the final end, when the saga went all on the news that they met Madame Sirleaf with Mr. Cummings, begging for Yombli to go with him as his vice standard bearer. So it means that this particular pawn game was being played long ago, but we were not seeing it from that perspective. Everybody was saying it. That is the reason why Mr. Cummings did not even go as VP to Ambassador Boyka, because his sole intent was to eliminate Ambassador Boyka from the race as he go as the main guy. That if Ambassador Boyka cannot go as VP, then it means that, you know, he cannot be. You see, first of all, Mr. Cummings came to this whole thing the wrong way. He approached the political scene for Liberia in the second term of his reign, trying to be president and all that. He approached it wrongly. He approached it in a way of saying, you know, I will spend money here and there and make sure that I become the standard bearer for the CPP. And that did not really work out. Now, most of them would say, oh, Mr. Cummings, we're going to do it transparently. And he wanted to go, no. Everything was going to be planned, and he was going to spill money here and there, because that is how the politics play in Liberia. Conventions are ran by, you know, people want to get something out of it. But my view is Mr. Cummings could not have gone as vice president to Ambassador Boyka, because in my opinion, that is not an opportunity for him, because Mr. Cummings got a vision that he don't think that Ambassador Boyka could be able to enhance. And if Ambassador Boyka government will have if Mr. Cummings could have gone as vice president to Ambassador Boyka, what if Ambassador Boyka government failed? That means Mr. Cummings also failed. So he would not have become president in 2029. So we also might look at that 2029 is not guaranteed even for what he name, for Jeremiah Kuhn, because 2029 success will depend on Ambassador Boyka's success. The reason why people went back to Ambassador Boyka, because there were successes in Ellen's led government. So people said, because Ellen had a good time, she did this, he did that, we can still go back to that track record. So if Ambassador Boyka fails, Jeremiah Kuhn failed. So we got to also take into consideration. So in my opinion, I don't think it was a missed opportunity for Mr. Cummings. I may play the devil advocate to now, but I do not think that it was a missed opportunity for Mr. Cummings, because Mr. Cummings would not have been efficient or effective as a vice president to Mr.
So
Honorable Butler.
and that's what I try to understand here. And I want to give you 30 seconds. I've got to bring in Amos George. When you say he won't be effective, why? In decision making, policy driving, pushing the agenda of the president and all of that, what is lacking that you think he couldn't be a good vice president?
I think Mr. Cummings is a guy that belongs on the top. He's not a guy that can serve under. From his demeanor, from his temperament, from the kind of character I observed. Even in the CPP, you will find out that Mr. Cummings was always speaking, even when he was not supposed to. All right, they had a standard bearer. He was always speaking. That is one of the areas. So he's a kind of guy who has too much. He knows too much. He informed, and he wants what he knows to be brought to light. And the vice president position is a nominal position in Liberia, wherein you are shadow. Most of your things will not be brought to light. So, and Mr. Cummings would not have played along. That's my point. That would be undermining leadership.
Okay, so let me bring in Amos George here. The argument, if I to condense everything here, it seems to me you are simply saying Cummings was running ahead of his shadow. They have a group and he was speaking. But remember, it was a race and everybody tries to show their own strengths and how they can take charge of stuff. So Amos George, let me just bring you here. Good evening, good to have you here. We'll try to profile some of the things that happened in 2023 and how these things can be prevented. Who was the pin here in the political process? Now we have a president-elect, Ambassador Joseph Newman-Boyka. Within the CPP rank and file, I saw that document. We read that document. We almost took the same position under the Liberal. This is unbelievable. The old man here, he can either really look. You see him? You see?
Oh no.
You see the old man?
The Liberal have beaten you now, Mr. So he have beaten you tonight now. So you out. You completely out.
Now we see the board chairman for true now.
Ain't no children. They say my own clothes, my power above me, find their own. He said that I still go to I'm going to have one for my own. That either.
You talk all your thing after 10 hours, then you go. You can't go till your ugly gun there where you told from somebody here. You won't pay for AA. Yeah, oh man, you something you unbelievable. Something I can't believe you do that. You know that you left this, you left the audience and you to go change and come back because somebody say, Mr. So we like your nice suit. Nobody gonna write any comment about your suit there, and they put it down with the Okay, Mr. George, let me bring you. Of course, that's a nice suit. I always like to be there. So, George, you share the view of Alexander Cummings. I'm not sure whether you're a registered ANC member, but we just try to kind of like have this sort of conversation here. You listen to Terry. I'm not sure whether you got the Liberal argument, but you who was supporting him, what do you think that went wrong? Was there anything that he felt below the belt that he should have done to have changed this narrative, to have avoided this sort of conversation that we are having today?
Good evening to all of you. Sissy, have a sympathy and extend my sympathy to your wife for the loss of her uncle.
My sympathy too, Sissy. Sorry for that.
This whole Cummings, the Baga issue. I don't have no comment on it. I don't want to rewrite that issue. The Liberian has spoken.
Wow.
So no comment.
No.
This is weird. Okay.
Yeah, this is.
All right. Well, we don't. Our job here is to ask the questions and okay. Let's move forward. Now, Ambassador Boyka is the president. On the 22nd or whatever day, we're going to be seeing ministers of government, and we were just having the conversation here before. We're going to kind of like digress a little bit too and look at Josh Weir. I personally believe there's no need this guy. They didn't really defend. They have all of the opportunity. They have all of the political strength. All they needed to do was to do the right thing and make some tough decisions. Whether the people like it or don't like it. That did not happen. So here we are now, Ambassador Boyka. In the next coming days, week, he will be inducted into office. Will we see these sort of same things coming, or will we see a different version than that of the past administration?
Well, I have I continue to say this thing that I'm waiting to see Honorable Walker cabinet. It will give me an insight of where the country will be heading. Because those are indicators that will say, okay, they will be able to do this. They will do the heavy lifting. So I'm waiting to see the cabinet. Because that way give every Liberian.
What are you looking for? What is it? What is threshold? What are you looking for when you say you're waiting to see the cabinet? What the structure, the individual, the places they're going to be put, the positions they're going to be occupying? What specifically are you looking forward to see?
I'm speaking because I want to hold Honorable Walker to his own words. Recently, when you're on VOA, he said he would be appointing people with caliber, people with reputation. So I'm holding him up to that standard. And secondly, these people, will they be placed in the right place? Those are the things I'm looking at. So I'm waiting to see these high caliber people that he made reference to will be bringing. So people with experience who will be able to deliver, to perform and deliver. So I'm waiting to see the cabinet that he will be putting forward to the Liberian people. Because as I said, that will give me an idea what the policy or how the policy will be driven.
Okay. So then let us digress. History is all about the past, the future, and the untold story here. Let's talk about the sitting president, President George Manning Weah. His 2017 Liberian, he was saying as an alternative after all of the collateral damages and they felt that the politicians, and he came as a new agent coming from nowhere, his association, things that he has been doing, his closeness in the social context. And his background, so people saying like, okay, I think we should take a shot at this guy. And so quickly and fastly, we see this train going down the hill, derailing, like when the PRC took over, and for whatever reason, there was no recovery process. So it's maybe there will be a story at the end of the day. Cecily, let me just bring you in here. Where did the President George Weah, and I would say because a sitting government in Africa, more or less, you have the political strength, the will, the finances, the resources to execute effective campaign. All you needed to do few things. Everything now going to be 100%. Where do you think this president started to go wrong, for which that there was no end to recovery process? Is that commensurate with what of the stuff we're talking about Cummings, people not just telling him the right thing, and he himself was not on top of the game? Was he being macromanaged? Was somebody driving his agenda? Could that possibly be the reason?
Well, there are a few analogies that come to mind, but I mean, I won't compare him to Cummings. I told the other day about, there's this thing when you're driving in a neighborhood, those of us that grew up in the Cinco area, when you're driving on the avenue, those community dogs will be running behind the car. When they catch up to the car, they need nothing to do with the car now. So it was with the CDC. They spent 12 years in opposition, yelling, and they could quote every revolutionary African that had lived before. And they were the grassroots, common people children, market women children, they referred to themselves, doctory. And the minute they caught up to the car and they gave them governance, then it almost became like the jet, you go on Facebook Marketplace, you buy some kind of phone, it didn't come with any manual. So you know how to reset it to factory mode. What happened to them?
Yes, yes, yes.
So you
bring Facebook Market?
Feel sorry for the people say, man.
What are you talking about Facebook Market?
Because one of the true essence of leadership is you have to continually evaluate. right? Anything that you lead, even if it's a project, you have to evaluate, reflect, and see where there are opportunities for growth. We call them mistakes, but in leadership, you call it opportunity for growth. Where are we not getting our bang for the bucks? And when your phone, you continue turning it on and it's going off, you make one call, hang up, you're talking to somebody, hang up in the day. Most people will tell you, man, try to reset that phone, reset it to factory mode. But that is assuming you have a manual. You have the like I'm going to use my uncle term that you're not able to pronounce. You have the wherewithal. That's why the person called you are trying to say this.
I was to say, but help me with that term.
And you have the wherewithal. I can understand speaking Yamayama, understand.
When they catch you on the highway, don't
that one in the chat. I was asking to pronounce it.
I get three chickens. One for my uncle and the representative of Akade, and one for my uncle Tamba, and one for Pape Boakare, where I used to mess with him before I started following him.
What about Toma Fala?
Now, Toma Fala, I'm my representative, my Pape.
Oh, okay.
So I got my three chickens already, so I don't mind me. But on a serious note, if these people really had people that took leadership seriously or understood what it meant to be a leader, you spoke about that. The president is telling us, George Weah is telling us that this is the best team he had. This is the best team. And then you always like to use football analogy. That you didn't set one person down, you didn't make one change. This is your best. This is the best that the CDC had after 12 years of being in opposition. I don't know. So I still say again, CDC was good at being in opposition. They ran behind the taxi stopped, they just sat out there and look at it. And they forgot that they were in leadership and they were perpetually in opposition, even while they were in leadership. Right? How do you become an opposition to yourself? They don't talk about, oh, the police are partisan police. You are the one in power.
Right.
A certain lawmaker of the ruling establishment who is on the government committee that can cite anybody, rally up a group of kids and take them to the University of Lpr campus to go meet other people there. You are the one in power. So how will you do when you're in opposition? So for me, I think people bought this cell phone on Facebook Marketplace. There was no manual. I didn't know how to reset the factory mode. My own, I got to say.
Ah, this guy. The liberal.
Yeah, Mr. So, can you hear me?
Loud and clear.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The people who can wear that gun are strong people, liberal.
They want is lazy. They want they be more than one guy when I they
kind of man, nothing behind one home a year. You sit down the floor.
It might not be that Zanzankawa. One of my people say they can steal Zanzankawa car battery every week to do nothing.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. So okay, let's have a conversation here. Let's look at some of our leaders. Some of I don't know what that administrative fallout or whatever it is. President George Weah. I think there's no reason that this thing here he could go. What really went wrong? What he didn't do? How come he got to this point?
Mr. So, thank you very much. I think Ceci said it all here, but I'll just add a few on it. In the engineering business, I'm not too sure about other discipline, but in the engineering business, they have what they call risk management, where you look at all of the issues on your design team, and each of the design unit will say, okay, we can do this, we can do that. Definitely we can. But how do we come from this side to this other unit? The transition portion of that process becomes a risk, because the people who are leaving, let's just take, for example, the bridge, turning it into road. What is the transition in between? They are not a roadway designer, they're just a bridge designer. So they transitioning from the bridge to the road. That little part is a risk for them, and they have to assign that risk to a specific group. Whereas the designer, they don't know what they do, but they can't do a bridge design and say, this is what I have. So there's a risk in there. And Ambassador Bakar, our president, it's very sad, Mr. Soul, because this man, I've always stated it, it's very popular. There's nothing, no one, even as right now, there's not one single person in Liberia that is more popular than President Weah. President Weah play football, and people say, well, that's a different thing. Idea thinking, your mind, your faculties, the way you think, the process that you put into training your mind to think does not change from going up in a space than going to clean poo-poo into a town. You got to think. You got to think. President, we are playing football at a higher level. It requires skill. It requires thinking. It requires practice. All of those things. He put all of them together and was able to be successful. So if you come into politics, which is quite different than playing football, but your mindset, your ability to control the way you think about, that is not going to go away from you. President Weah came to this position also thinking that he doesn't need to apply the skill that got him successful on the football field. He just needed to do something because he's popular. Far from it. You're coming into a position where people livelihood depends on the kinds of decisions you're going to make. And for 6 years, as Sese correctly stated, they were in opposition for 12 years. In 12 years, there was those sedition that were writing about Madam Salih policy, that were taking notes. But those sedition that was able to take notes, they set down aside. And those Buga sedition that are not able to produce, he made them the face of CDC. And they even threaten those who have the ability to produce. They set them aside. They set them aside. How do you expect to be successful? Okay, so we leave that part. You're out now. You selected your government. And you see people are complaining. People who have no knowledge of government. They're complaining that this thing is not working. And you continue to maintain the same people. What are they going to do for you now? What can they do for you today that they have not done in the past? And President, we are just sat there. He won't say most of the incident things that we're talking about. He will not make comment on it. Wait until Sunday. And in the meantime, other people improvise. Those who are able to talk, not talking for you, but opposition, they make it up. So now they put you on the defense. And you heard what's his name? Samuel Tua was saying here the other day, while we were here running the government, people were bad-mouthing us, and we were not able to respond. Is that right? This is what I think most likely brought the downfall of the president.
Well, is it fair to say that?
Let me just say this. You know me. And my they can't do anything on Bloku. Let me just say that. This election, Ambassador Bakar, he's very smart. And this is why he continued to insist that we all have to work together. Because he recognized that this election, it is not about him. Most of the vote that he got were angry vote. Not for him, but against President Weah. And Ambassador Bakar recognized that. He knows, but those type of vote, they are not something stable. They're just like me, unstable, as you would say. So this type of vote that you get, they're not really yours. And so he recognized that. How does he fix that? He knows that Liberians are divided. Come together. Let's build this country. If anybody don't want to work and you want to run your tabata on one side, Samsinto will deal with you on this platform. I will call your name. If the
You ever call anybody name yet?
I will. This time around,
I will give you small thing. I will give you small thing.
We're getting there. There's going to be New Year. New stuff. So anybody, Ambassador Baka, keep playing this. Say, come and join. You don't come to join. You say you in opposition. You're talking Tabata. I will call your name. And I will bring you to book on this platform, Mr. Soul.
Okay, let me go to Amos George, and we'll try to open the phone lines for our folks too to get their take, their own retrospect, their own experience, and what the thing went wrong. All of this sort of conversation is meant to make to strengthen our country and to make sure to get the best. Amos George.
Yeah.
Is President Weah, was it on purpose or out of unknowingly to say that he used himself as a sacrificial lamb because people who he felt, because I'm hearing some things coming out of him now, speaking from the pulpit. I'm not sure whether that would be the ultimate memoir. Usually every president when he leaves office to get a way of saying it, but maybe his own is in the auditory version by speaking it out. Some of these people who are nowhere are brought in. And yeah, we are here. Did he use himself as a sacrificial lamb, or was that all the job was just happy for him? Which one? I'm confused.
No, he didn't use himself as a sacrificial lamb. The man just didn't able the job. He didn't able the job. This man could not take an independent decision as a leader. Let me ask something too. He brought in a football analogies. All the team President we have played for, did he serve as captain on one of those teams for 1 week?
Oh, come on now.
Okay.
No, but because I heard that question.
Hold on there.
So what wrong with he asking his question? You want to sanction him from? You want to stop him from asking his question?
No, he has the right to ask a question.
When I finish, he can respond.
Why he can't ask his question?
Okay,
why
ask the question.
Oh man, when I finish, you respond.
Okay. But why are you being
I'm already, hold on 1 second. I'm already upset with you. You have no business. I took my time. You know how many places are open together. By the time you saw me, my God, blue, you've not wrong. You now go put on that your 1952 gun or tire. I'm not happy with you. Emo George, go ahead.
Yes. President, we are even on the Lone Star, what he did there. Today, people say complain about his leadership on the Lone Star. Many of his friends complain how he drew up the team and led to the team's downfall. They still blame him today for it. But let's come to the political issue. I heard one time President Williams say that he can't sack people because he and people they suffer, they came a long way. Is that a leader? Is that how a leader will speak? Oh, so because you and I fought to achieve something, and you're going, or I'm going the wrong way, so you just keep me because some who fought to get there, when I'm doing the wrong thing, you just keep me. And you have the power to say, look, you know what happened? Go and take a rest. He never did it. Never had the willpower to take a drastic stand, a measure that would send message to the other people to say, hey, if you don't do so, you will go, you see what the person did to that person. No. It's like he pepped them on the back. Let's go, the people will not do anything to us. This is what the men were doing with the country. Something happened, people are yearning, crying. The person we are like, there's nothing happening in the country. Then he heard it like people calling people names. Mr. President, get rid of this person. What? He didn't have to do it on the people turn, but do some assessment, do some evaluation. He went to retreat. He said, well, we'll make some changes. Zero. So the defeat of President Weah, he brought it on himself. He was not able to stir the ship. This is what happened because President Weah could not take any independent decision. If he took one decision, it would be pressure from the public that would make him to take that decision. But as someone who was in charge of the country or is in charge of the country, you ran a government for almost 6 years. No cabinet reshuffle, major reshuffle, nothing. So, as this was saying, that's the crew that President Weah got on his team now, the cream of the best of Liberians he could get at that time, according to him. So, whether they were not performing, that he could not go outside to bring somebody, he didn't see that. He didn't see no all qualified Liberians to say, you know what happened? Let the person go. You have been here for 3 years. If anything, you have served. Go and rest. Maybe after 2 years, if I want to bring back, but go and rest. Let me bring somebody in. No. He didn't do it. He kept these people. And so if you expect that he was not sacrificial land, he himself did it. Look at the campaign, for example. Mobile have been chairman of the party all through. Send the king to power, send Nigerian Market let the main chairman. He had been there. The king overnight, they say, Eugene Namo is taking care of the campaign. We talk about his mobile model could not even appear to any of the major rally in Salah mobile model. What is that? And you know that mobile model, then you all have been in the trenches. Eugene Nangbe, the support of many people see this happen with Eugene Nangbe, but they say Eugene Nangbe betrayed him. But you brought him back and elevated him. So those, I think you did it. He heard the people crying. No. But he was like, I don't care what you say. I'm the guy. I will do it. And at the result, what happened? Lost the election. Now you go into church, you lift up people, but okay, because you lift up people and they want to damage you, so you can't bring them down. If I brought you to the house, I give you my slipper to wear, and I go, you pull my slipper on, you put it from the hole. Oh man, you're not wearing that slipper again, oh. Because I mean, you don't want to use my slipper, you're not wearing it. I don't know. I mean, you wear the trousers, they say, my man, take down how you sitting down. When you go up, you want to say, my man, take down. No, don't stretch out, don't sit down, they will wear my trousers. But what I'm trying to say is that George Weah did all these things to himself. He can't blame anybody because the people he brought around him, he had the power to tell them, go. You're not carrying on my policy. You're not delivering for the Liberian people, and I can't keep you. But no, he said that these people were the cream of the best of Liberia. So they're the one who deliver the country. And today, yes, and something to it. Let me come back to you. Government, you say your old man said you will bring the country together. Perfect. That's the leadership. But if there are competent people in Georgia, we are government and Honorable Baka wants to keep, fine. If you want to let all the people go, not to civil servant, all the appointed position, if you want to let them go, they can go. They are the only Liberians. They can bring other Liberians too to see whether they will not perform. Yeah. So don't consider you call them and you can't call your own man for Funadi up. Let me rest more. How you can't call Funadi up? So he's so brave. Why you can't call Funadi?
You want to respond to him?
Of course. Thank you for the opportunity. Mr. George, currently known as 1%, I will just say this to you. When you came,
currently what?
Known as 1%.
What do you mean?
He's a 1%. Here a group, ANC, they're 1%.
There's election. Somebody got to be the loser.
So you are.
Of course, I'm not arguing that.
Okay, we appreciate that. Thank you for your honesty. It doesn't change anything. You're still 1%. So
No,
please,
you worry about it.
that's okay. Let me continue my statement. 1%, if you don't mind. Thank you. Mr. So, when Mr. George came in, we were in the process of discussing the chief of 1%. And he said he was not going to discuss that because the election is over. But guess what? He came back and go into the playbook of the 1%er and said, same president we have when you were playing, when was the last time he was captain? Was it not the same statement made by their 1%er, Standard Bearer? The Standard Bearer made that same statement. This is unbelievable. These people, but I don't blame them. Many
Can you
dispute
that?
They don't understand Tabala. So they have no idea. When President Weah was controlling the Tabala process in Liberia, was it not President Weah and his people that almost went to African Cup of Nations?
Look at the word almost.
The best of 1%. I'm talking, please. You're talking about 55, 50, what more percent again? 50, 51 point something, 50%. Anyway, whatever it is, I was more than 1%. Let's forget. So please, get me the platform. My percentage is more than 50%. So please, let me speak.
Can you please go ahead, please? I don't know who you're blocking.
Okay, but you tell him to give me the honor. So, when President Weah was in charge with the Lone Star, he was paying their own money. Yeah, whatever. He was paying his own money to carry the Lone Star to another level. When President Weah was playing in Europe, yeah, he was never the captain. But for goodness sake, what major soccer team in Europe at the time that was not begging for him if he didn't be a captain? They wanted him. Being a captain, yes, you can do here and there. But his ability to score, his ability to win games, made him the best ever. So please, spare
but that
me
doesn't make a good leader.
Subject matter when it comes to football.
No, that doesn't make you a good leader. Spending your money on the team, that doesn't make you a good leader. Get that. Okay? Get that to the back of your mind. Not because you're paying money for someone that make you a good leader.
Okay.
You can spend money, but you cannot run things effectively when they put you in charge. Why do you think the inspector George Weah today he talk about it on the field in Liberia? Why?
I give up. I give up these 1%ers.
No,
I just cannot deal with that
Why?
anymore.
So
come on, George.
That's notion that you spend money because you can spend money, you're a good leader. No, it doesn't fit. You can be someone who spend money but cannot manage people. That's two different things. Spending money.
Okay. What happened to your 70,000? What happened to your 70,000? Since you're such a good leader, what happened to your 70,000?
Wow.
Huh?
You cannot defend what you said.
Okay.
You cannot defend what you said.
You
said something, and I just trying to tell you. Now listen, you add about 70,000. So now can you compare Mr. Ezra coming track record with that of George Weah when it comes to leadership? Can you compare that?
My microphone, it's not working right now.
No, don't say your microphone now on. You're hearing it. Don't cut it off.
Don't cut it off.
You cut it off. You can't hear it.
Yeah, microphone, earphone now working right now.
What is your track record?
Mr. George,
can you compare with Cummings or any other Liberian 6 there in leadership position?
Is Mr. So, is Mr. George still talking? Because I can't hear him.
Yeah. All people are Rasta. You can't hear. Okay. We have the number out there, 682-433-8802. The number is also available via WhatsApp. All right, we have talked about our.
When Mr. Tote said, Lord, dive under the water. Don't dive under the water, he said. Don't go under that water.
Older now, you know, eh? I told you something told that good person to hang around, but Terry will get his shot, Sissy will get his part, then they will come back. Okay, so guys, let's talk about what we hoping to see, what the future of Liberia, and a little bit honest here this event, despite folks' support. We say happy New Year to all our folks, our reporters, Louis Massaquot, our man, correspondent based in Liberia with Big FM as well. Jose Nyuma Boyka, ambassador to be the next president. What is running through his hair as we speak now? The nations is on air. But by the way, there are some indicators. You can see an indicator of a leader. Courtesy of Spawn Network, our guys, they wasn't able to make it that today in Bangabon County. I'm going to show you a little excerpts when his convoy rolls down the street to sympathize with.
Of the LPP, religious leaders, as we make our way in the church. The Unity Party speakership candidate, Representative Richard Kuhn of District 11, Montserrado County, GMB, and the incoming First Lady. And
okay, I just wanted to show little excerpts of this whole thing here. Let's get this thing out of the way. This is one of the things Liberians and everybody to frown on when there's a disaster, when there's a need for your leader to show strength, to show that of support, and to tell the country you are in charge, things will happen. This was in the case with the sitting president. Why was all of this happening? He does have an advisor, the bride, the Archibald Bernard, and other folks. Why all of these things were saying done? Yeah, President, we saw what happened during the truck incident. The president-elect drove down, went to JFK there to meet with the people. Yeah, we're seeing another incident for Bon County. He has gone there today. He lay wreaths on the mass grave and all of that. What was the other incident? I think this should be the second or third time. Second or third?
The Unity Party car accident.
Yeah, Unity Party. Yeah, called that, and then something. I think there was another incident. But whatever it is. So, Sister, seeing what we're saying so far, it would be unfair to draw a comprehensive conclusion. But we're seeing someone marching into leadership, showing those sort of indicators that, okay, when something be a good or bad, the leader will speak and the country will be healed and people will have hope. That didn't happen that much under the president, making him his presence to be felt. Why?
I mean, I was like, why that? I think you got to go bring Breakable in the council out of question.
Yeah, because
you so can't deal with me. You're not repost.
You don't call you, not the way don't call me.
After 2022, yeah, my brother Breakable in Canada, Terry told me to say you come with Terry. But on a serious note, look. The president of the nation is supposed to be the chief cheerleader, the person who riled the nation up, and you are the arrowhead. They follow you. The rabbi, the Reverend George Weah, has spoken most recently so many times in church. Then he's spoken to the nation in 6 years. Think about that. And he had a pulpit all this time. And he had a musical studio. Well, actually, he released Lion Man. So he spoke to us on Lion Man. But besides the Lion Man people,
Sissy, don't make me laugh. Yeah.
Who am I lying? Tell me that. My inbox will be full again after that illustration. You were doing me. But on a serious note, when you have tragedy or when there's confusion, people rely on people in authority. They try to mirror your energy as the leader. That's why people look at you. In your house right now, if you have kids and something happens, all the children turn to look at you. If you are there confused in a crisis, all the children are going to be confused along with you. And I know this is sad and this is a bad example, so I apologize. But that is why in Liberian settings, when there is a death in a family, you'll find a man sitting stoic. You can't cry. Because you want to set their tune. And so we depend on the president of the republic to speak to the nation in times of crisis and in times of joy. The same way he elevated that little kid that found that money in Niba County. And people, for their short time, Liberians were feeling proud. And there were people wanting to be their kid because the president of the nation had elevated that. But sadly, I don't know where to drop the ball with President Weah. Many things happened. And folks were expecting the president to speak. And there was silence. And the times that he did speak, I'll borrow Mr. Todd a word, he put a foot in his mouth. When the auditors were found dead, he said, the poor remain on my belly. You know, so I don't know what the handlers were doing. I seriously don't know. But I think Joseph Yamabuaka and his group, they're learning what not to do. By the way, the bar is very, very low. So for me, this is not even something I want to congratulate him on. It's almost like those people that be in the street bluffing. I've never been to jail before in my lifetime. Yeah, my man, not be going to jail, but we're gonna get you a cookie for that one there. You know, so the bar is very, very low. And the CDC said the bar really low. But this is what we want. We want a leader that humanizes people suffering. We want a leader that humanizes people achievements. Right? And so they started on a good footing. Now you ask the question about the CDC, I really don't know. Because they have a lot of loudmouth people in the CDC, and for them to not allow the president to speak was a contradiction, a daily contradiction. You can't have the likes of the POW general, the Buka from Fiamma, Akaras Gray. You can't have the like of Akaras Gray there sitting down and spewing trash all day, and then have a president that doesn't talk. Oh yeah, the message. He must have with the math challenge one day, so I'm waiting for him. Saying he ain't representing no one that will do that one. But the question for me is the handlers. Is the handlers. And it will stay on the handlers. Because
is it fair to blame the handlers? You are the leader. You should be able to, you should take charge as well.
So if you're leading a complex system, let's be fair to George Weah sometimes. And sorry, President Weah. For me, I refuse to call him Dr. Weah because he ain't earned it. And it make you signing order with Dr. Ni. When you leave off him and I use that title, we'll get problem with him. President Weah was leading a complex system. In a complex system, you sometimes delegate responsibilities. And you're expecting each of those clocks in that system to work efficiently and effectively. That's the reason you got handlers. That's the reason you got these advisors that brief you on national security issues, that brief you on other stuff. That's the reason you bring in people to argue their points. Mr. President, you should speak. No, you should not speak. Why shouldn't the president speak? Because of this. Why should I speak? Because of this. You take the best choice and you move on. But the way we see things, I will venture to argue that those things were not happening. And therefore, they weren't serving the president right. And by extension, they weren't serving the Republic of Liberia right. For this one, I put 100% on George Weah because that is the reason you hire handlers. You hire communication experts. That's the reason you got a Minister of Information. You got all these experts around you to guide you along the way because you will not know everything about everything.
Terry?
Yeah, I think Cece said it all. But to add to that,
And just to
uh,
add a little bit layer, and I know it might sound a little bit ridiculous. We don't know what the incumbent, the incoming, going to meet or whatever it's going to be. Can he afford someone who been there before, within the proximity of the presidency, close or next step to the presidency, knowing all of what went on, and like the liberal said, some of these votes for a variety of reasons. And I remembered our guys, they went to when when uh, Ambassador Boyka was announced, there were some people that went there. One of the ladies said, "We voted President Weah. It was for the country." You know, when people talking, sometimes we listen to them. That's why people, there's a signal. They could be good, they could be bad, but there's some sort of signal out of many things. Somebody will say you gotta grab something. And that lady said, "Yeah, you know what? We voted, but when he got there, he's turned his back. And not just want to turn his back, he divided this country. Sedition and reaction. And so we decided to tell him the majority are the Liberian people are in majority more than the sedition and the reaction." That was a remarkable thing. Let me just okay, somebody calling me. That was remarkable there. Can Ambassador Boyka afford to give any excuse, anything will it be justifiable, seeing all that is unfolded in this 2023 presidential election to see where he is today? You
no,
can,
and that is what we expect, that Ambassador Boyka should not give excuse. You see, President, we are actually lost touch of the people. That's one of the major reasons why he failed. He lost touch of the people long time ago, and he lost touch of his allies. And if you look at the elections, President, we had a huge number that I myself was surprised that he could accumulate that much, in as much as he was not in touch with the people and even his base. But the problem is that the Liberian people, they are not carried away by all of the things we do on social media. And so there are some people that don't even listen to us. All right. The Liberian people are very easy to fool because they have not seen much. So they don't know much. So when President Weah was doing the small development here and there, they saw it to be a big thing. Like President, and because already this guy was popular, he's popular already. So he just needed, and he came to power without doing anything for the people. So he just needed to do little things. And those little things he did, even though he was not in touch with the people still hail him for that. The major reason why President Weah lost these elections was because he lost touch with his major allies, like the like of Prince Johnson. And Labour said something when he brought in the football game, and people said, "Oh, there's that." I saw a repeat of the history of what happened in the game, happened in this election to President Weah. He brought out of the field. If you can remember the game between Ghana and Liberia, that should have given Liberia the edge to go to the World Cup. Because Liberia, President Weah did qualify Liberia to go to African Cup of Nations. If you can remember, we played Algeria and that game ended 2-2. President Weah did success. But what he was supposed to finally qualify us for was the World Cup. And there was the last game was supposed to play between Ghana and Liberia, and we only needed a draw. Draw or win will qualify us. President Weah started bringing major players down from on the field. Last minute of time. That's the reason why the people blame him. So I saw a repeat of that in his leadership. And that I think that what Labour are trying to point out, but people did not see it from that angle. And I capture it. So it was like he took out of the game major players that could have helped him to win. Look at President Weah claimed all the votes in the Southeast. The only area that gave him hard time was Nima County. That the only place. And what did he do? He brought down Prince Johnson in the major time in the game. He started bringing those players down. So he lost touch of his allies. That is the reason why Ambassador Boyka took advantage of it. Ambassador Boyka took advantage of his weakness. The moment he brought those two men down, Ambassador Bugger said, you know what, I'm going for Prince Johnson. Y'all can say anything you want to say. I'm going for Prince Johnson. The reason why President Bugger is the leader today is because he took advantage of the players that President Weah brought down from on the field in the dying minute, the most important time in the game. So I think that President Weah lost touch of his ally and he have lost touch of the people. And that is why he don't even have empathy to show that respect to the dead, which I think it will haunt him for 2029. But I'm still thinking that Ambassador Bugger is incomplete in what he did today. All right. My view is that I expected him to have gone with Jeremiah Kuhn. But Jeremiah Kuhn was not on the team for whatsoever reason, I don't know. But I think the both of them together would have sent or would have been complete. His sympathy would have been
It sounds
complete.
like, quickly, I don't want to put word in your throat. It sounds like he started packing Jeremiah Kontu in the garage or what?
I can't say that now because I don't.
Most likely.
You know, yeah, but that to me, it don't send a good signal because these people burn to ashes. Look, I saw something that shocked me. And that is why I'm saying why President Weah did not say something. These people burn to ashes. And right now they're telling me that it's
okay.
65
Quickly,
persons.
not to interrupt you to go to the court. Do you think maybe President Weah could have made a last-minute time punch to have shown up there as well?
Sure, Mr. Weah. I mean,
the water dry already.
Yeah, he should have. Right now, if you go there, people will think that because people talk. So, and you don't want to be the first. You don't want to be the last to go there after the president elect. It shows carelessness.
I
just listen. I will talk.
Well,
I will talk
about Elvis, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
So, okay, that's all. And I know a lot of things go on the social media. The president never went there. This President Weah.
No, he ain't a vice president. But
he sent
it's not my time.
No,
she didn't go there.
She stopped there on her way going.
She stopped there.
She stopped there. She left 1,000 at
home. Yeah,
on Monday.
Maybe.
Okay, hold on. Let's bring in Elvis. Elvis, good evening. We say happy New Year. We praying we all just rose in here. Good evening.
Good evening to you, Mr. So, and happy New Year to your team there. I like your regalia, you, Mr. So there.
The man, borrow my star. The man, you saw me wearing the thing blue. You get jump. The old man, he not even changed. He's small brother me. I wear my Ghana. You know, some people were praising. He jumped running inside there with, the other chief were Bon County. I remember those days during Dota Chief Bengba. No, one they had one. He was a other chief counsel. One County. Okay, so Elvin, let's hear from you. We try to profile what went wrong. You support this president here. Why you think? Where is the break-in gap? Was he really?
I want to disagree with Terry. I think his analogy, it sounds good on the surface, but you have to look at the nuance of the situation when it comes to Prince Johnson. The United States undoubtedly put their thumb on the scale of these elections. They explicitly told the Liberian people, in essence, that Prince Johnson was a persona non grata. Don't touch him.
What about Maggie?
Then
how you went to Maggie?
Hold on, let him make a point. Let him make a point.
Prince Johnson people was told that anyone doing business with Prince Johnson will be sanctioned. And what was Prince Johnson asking for? He won $7 million that the people of Nima were owe, or else he will not support this president. It will be contingent upon if he gets that money for Nima County, in order for him to know if he will support the president. He openly said that. So whether it would have been in reality or not, if Prince Johnson would have endorsed this president, it would have been assumed that the president had given him either all of that money.
You owe the people, County.
So the point about it is that Prince Johnson was not supposed to be touched by this president.
because he was doing pay for play, and he explicitly said that that's what he wanted. In order to get endorsement from him, he's supposed to give the money that the people at Nima was owed, and we know that he was going to take a share of that.
Are they owing that money?
Himself.
Aries, are they owing that money?
That's what Prince Johnson said.
So what you say?
Right? The money.
When you say that your support for a political institution that you have an agreement on is contingent upon giving your county a specific amount of money.
No,
what I'm asking
is, no. For the county, you asking for his county.
Then you're putting up, you're doing pay for play. Exactly what you're
saying. The man's a senator for the county. He asking for his county
for money.
So,
wrong. I mean,
Evis, what I want to know, let's establish the fire. We got to get the audience to get glued to this conversation so they can get a takeaway. My question is, was the county owing, the government were owing the county this amount? He's the senator.
Perhaps. Yes, perhaps the government was owing them that amount. Right? But it was not the only county that the government was owing money to. But you never heard any other senators come and say, if you don't give me,
you're not going to speak for other county.
Support you.
You're not going to speak for other county.
That means he's dead to a lot of people in the country. But if you make political support contingent upon county development fund, then that's almost like extortion. You can't hold this president to ransom after you've been sanctioned for that. So my point is, when Terry is just talking about Prince Johnson not being on the field, the president was already warned that Prince Johnson was a sanctioned individual, and part of the reason he was even sanctioned was the business he was doing with political leaders, i.e. Ellen Johnson.
Didn't he do business with George Weah?
So that was something that, go ahead, Mr. Sir.
Yeah, so before I go to the next person, I see this to be the cardinal fear of seditions, or even the president leaving Kensler here going to Prince Johnson. We're getting on the defense committee. Uncle Sam came in and stepped back and been sanctioned. So it's like the president didn't want to take a risk. Now the ambassador said, well, politicians are noted of taking risk. So he took the risk. Are you saying if he's, because they said people shouldn't do business with sanctioned people. Now by he giving his political support here. So if Uncle Sam don't take a stand against him, will you see this as what? Would that be a double standard?
There you go, Mr. Jai. Look, America is an extremely sophisticated society. They know how to use their soft power. They will do things to manipulate things that if you're not smart enough, you won't even see what's happening before your eyes. The reality is America used Prince. They knew the power that Prince Johnson had, and they knew that with Prince Johnson, we are wins a landslide second term. They knew that. So those powers that be who never wanted to see Weah back there, whether because they felt like he didn't perform enough or he wasn't towing their lines, they wanted him not to get a second term. Okay. And having Prince Johnson would have been an easy second term for him. So the fact that Boycott now went to Prince Johnson, a man who he said and picked Prince Johnson, political godson, who he said will be a person will reflect his thinking. Jeremiah reflects Joseph Boycott thinking. I'm sure you guys are talking about the renovation that's going on in his house. You know, the 30,000 Rolex that he's wearing. His whole demeanor has changed.
Who's that now?
That guy is who we all thought he was. I'm not here to criticize him, but I'm not surprised when these things are starting to happen because I said on other platform and I said on your platform. Joseph Boycott is like a mafia boss who sits back and let other people do his dirty work and bring them, the things that they do from that work to him. You have Lebanese.
So, George,
how can the CDC allow $180 million drugs?
Okay, thank you so much. Okay,
President, he didn't do it.
How can the CDC allow $180 million in drugs to go?
Well, that's the privileges and immunities involved in being in that place. So,
you do for me, I do for you later.
Okay, thank you so much. Let me go to this number here. We'll soon wrap up here. 203. Are you there? 9037.
I'm right here. So,
okay, let's hear you.
How you guys doing? Happy New Year.
Same to you. You've been following the conversation. Let's hear you quickly.
So kind of hearing, Terry, we talk about all the talking about Liberia laws going to the World Cup because of the decision President William made at the time he was the captain for a long staff. You know what he said? What he said that it's not even true. It got no iota of truth. So, but they were wrong with that. kind of
But explain the truth to honor.
leaves the narrative.
Explain what happened again.
Yeah, let him make a point. We're not going to go back. That game back. FIFA not going to bring that game back. So what's the point? Go ahead quickly.
That the whole thing. Yeah. So my own thing here is President Weah is making headway, like I said before.
He making what?
Making headway. God have mercy.
With what?
He has been nominated by a big name area as the man of the year, and they put things in place. I mean, in the auditorium that they wrote, they spelled out some of the things that happen in Africa, cause chaos, coups and coups and coups. And President Weah came and changed, making sure that African leaders will follow his footsteps by showing democracy, even to the extent where even in the West we live, democracy was throttled a little bit here, or it was tempered with. But yeah, a full country like Liberia, a man who they consider knew nothing about politics, a man who they consider in depth, teaching the world the democratic principles or tenets of the democratic tenets, right? So we do not talk about these things. And then where I find at the media honor Joseph Boakai. He just made a point. And then my own brother Soul said that's the immunity that comes with the office. When President Weah was fixing his house, he broke his house down because that was the immunity that came with the office to build his house on
Tell what are you talking about? I mean, let me say, what are you talking about?
Tabata with confidence.
To break your house, that's a humiliating camp with the presidency.
But his own press secretary, listen, his own press or deputy press secretary created a convoluted case and said that was his son and little by Walker. They were unable to explain. These things are happening. They just also that. Or they
it happened the time you gotta pick which one to talk about.
They pull a new culture on. Get the administration. The media pushed the narrative that.
So what did they do in response to the media?
Just come in. Yes.
What did they do in response? Because the media will always be there. People will always be there to search the truth. What did they do in return to?
They went and told us say he was renovating his house. He was fixing his house, and that was the presidential immunity. Today, we're not hearing radio stations carrying out.
What is it? What law you quoting? What immunity gave the president?
The consultant. Welcome, sir.
Thank you, sir.
That's what I said. Let me tell you, gentlemen.
Okay.
The way the media treated President Weah, I can tell you.
You must tell you see that we're coming to again if we get fair against
they are trying to play softball with Joseph Boakai. And that's the reason why we will still be here. The way they treated him, whether they were the media.
So, okay, quickly before I go, we will soon be wrapping us at Camilla. So, do you see the defeat of the president fought as the work of the media? The media, the one did the work, did the work against the president? Is that how you feel, or is that how other citizens feel?
Well, 85% was media propaganda, largely strong media propaganda.
Were they false? Who? Were they false who?
Yes, big time. $16 billion got missing. Big time. $25 million got squandered. Big time.
Okay. The auditors?
So, the auditors, the President Weah killed auditors.
That's not what I'm saying. What did the government do in response? Even these people.
The government investigator came to a conclusion, but the Liberian people, through the media and the opposition, did not accept the outcome of the investigation. Like they didn't accept the outcome of the $16 billion. So the media amplify it, and the Liberian people, being gullible, agree with them. But today, I'm telling you, moving forward, the same game that they play for 6 years, they play these 6 years are coming.
Who?
And let's see.
Ask the man what media host nominated Joey for Mayor of the Year. I'm trying to research it. I can't find it. Can you help us, please?
I'm gonna send it to you in the chat.
No, but just call an email. You gotta do it. You can anytime you're sending things CDC, I can send it in the chat room. Everybody listening, just call an email so we all can do the research.
I'll send it in the chat room.
You see, they will not read that. Now what they can do, we never read.
And I comment about it.
Okay, thank you so much.
I'm sending it.
All right, thank you.
I mean, this guy continue to
So-
put the same line.
Okay,
Mr.
Malik
Mr.
Jones, good evening. Huh?
Mr. So,
Yeah.
I want to make a comment on Ambassador Bakar visit to Bon County.
But it's a roundtable discussion. Why you can't wait? Cesar and Terry has spoken. You and myself, Malik just came when I spoke. So why you can't wait? Why you asking? Why you can't wait? Let it call you.
Very good. Steve. Mr. George, thank you very much. You will be my deputy, or you will be my principal deputy. You the one I get medicine for
This is not a labor
As speaker and deputy speaker, minute all now.
Yeah.
But Joy, you gotta be careful.
We gotta start asking one another for credential. Yeah, for that, I say, Bobo Timber, for that, Bobo Timber, got force credential. The man where you're watching.
Okay, let's make progress. I think who was about to speak when I intercepted? Was that you, by George?
Yeah, but let's ask him to go ahead. That Monsignor, let him go ahead.
You caving into something too? Okay, you're not in charge. So if you forfeit it, I will determine where it goes. Let me break in my own Rhode Islanders here. Jones Octavio Mali. You see,
suffering for your
put your hand like this. I don't care. Let me break in Jones. The Moja boys. Mali Jones, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, panelists. Mr. Collins, Mr. Goya, Mr. Toole, Mr. George, and
you can elaborate.
Your network clear.
Yeah, he's shining. Oh, you're back in
that. Yeah, there's something called change of location.
So you change your location. Okay, so Mali Jones, good to have you here. It's better than never.
On a serious note, it seems to be we are turning the page in a very positive direction as we enter 2024. And I just heard one of our panelists crying foul that the media was able to, what should I use, devoid the CDC. But the only thing I want to say here is that I think CDC shot itself in the legs. You have an information minister that don't talk. They are tablet. So what you want for the media to do? The media will continue to always speculate. Always. And if the president-elect information minister take the same trend, it will going to happen. But I'm sure, I want to believe that thing is not going to repeat here again. In the first place, we are, according to my own assessment, was never media friendly. That's the first thing. He thought the media were always after him. No. The media are not after you. But when you set the agenda and you set the tune, trust me, the media will pick it up and run away with it. And most of the time, from my own assessment, Georgia government set the tune for the media to ready play in CDC backyard.
Okay.
Yes.
Let's bring in the liberal now. I grant him clemency, just how we are there to Samuka. So let me just bring in let me bring in the liberal. Yeah, he can come now. The liberal.
Yeah.
We are one.
For that thing, I can't understand it.
Yeah, he go as anything then. They want by can't even help. So what should the guy you support now in the next coming days, week, he will be in the Oval Office, be making some consequential decisions. What do you really be looking forward saying? I strongly believe the structurings of the government, the compositions of the government, because there are different pieces and parcels put together to get him to be where he is. The accommodations of those people, that is very vital, that is very key to see a stabilized system. Oh, somebody was calling from Liberia. Oh, okay. Maybe when a person call back, I will let you know. But go ahead. What is your key points you're watching to see?
What Mr. So what I do know, Ambassador Baka does not depend on LPR to function. Let's get it.
Is that what? That's not a question I asked.
I'm just telling you. You coming out here earlier to tell us all kind of question, your uncover question. We got nothing to do with it. Ambassador Baka is functioning fair and well. So we don't need you. We don't need LPR to function. Let me put it that way. Now, we go back to your early points. On a very serious note, Mr. So, I keep saying this here to many of you on this line, and usually I will say I'm from the countryside. Ambassador Bakai is quite different from President Weah. In terms of his engagement with the people, what do you expect? President Weah has the like of Shao, Imaya Shah, the likes of the other Kabona. These people, they are Liberian, truly Liberian, but they are outbreaking. It's not the same as those of us from the countryside. We're in the countryside, on that line. We believe in unity among the community. I'll give you an example, and it's not just unique to Total. If somebody goes on their farm and get cut to the point that they are unable to finish the farm whatever time, if the healing process is going to take 1 month, the community, the town chiefs will collect people for the night. You will say, everybody, don't go on your farm, your own farm. Let's go to this man's farm tomorrow and finish it. And nobody going to question it. They will go and do that. That's culture. Ambassador Baka understands that very well. That if one person is hurt, the community in that area will come together. And knowing who he is, it was a no-brainer for him. Now, the question that I have was whether he was able to consult President Weah, because we're talking leadership position now. So I don't know exactly what the play is, but as far as his outbreaking, if Ambassador Baka has not done that, then we're going to question it. But his outbreaking, his own community involvement, demands that these things are done like that. And that's why you saw him going there shaking the people's hand. For him, all the other people are looking at, those are all people coming to shake President-elect hand. They're not there for Bon County. They are just there to say, oh, yeah, me too. But President Bakai, I truly believe that his travel to Bon County, it has nothing to do with politics. And the shameful thing that I take out of this here as well, Mr. So, is that President Weah, by now getting involved and talking to the people of Bon County, it's a disgrace. Bon County gave their vote to him. Not only because of Vice President Julia Howard, but they gave their vote. You have to at least show some sense of responsibility. Because you're thinking of even coming by 2029. And yet, Bon County are grieving. And they just let you, they were another county, they're not from the Southeast, they gave you their vote. And you can't even ease their mind in times of trouble. This is something that will come back to heart. But then again, who advising, as I said, a handler? Who are the handlers? What do they know about culture? Nothing. That's also South people. But Ambassador Walker handlers. He doesn't even need handler in this situation. All he has to do is think about his upbringing when he was growing up. in his own village. So, Mr. So, I just
So you're passing through, you're going there. Is it not the same as the president?
no,
No.
the vice president going there, passing through, going there. She's embarrassed. She's embarrassed because she cannot take the lead. Knowing fully what a president we are is not that she can't take the lead to go past and do those things. You remember that doctor stuff that brought all the confusion between she and the president because they made up which doctor or whatever doctor they made up, and the president said, what are they making? Whatever they call it. It's a big deal here. So Ambassador Mark, Vice President Howard Taylor don't want to put herself in front of the president, even though the election is over. But it's an embarrassing situation. People would talk.
All right, let's do the quick spin.
Let me see.
Let Mr. George come in, and you will hear how much people talking about this from his community. It doesn't look good for Madam Howard Taylor, and it definitely doesn't look good for President Weah. I think this is one of those things President Weah need to take that shame from his face, come back, and talk to the people of Bond County to say, I don't forget you. I'm sorry. That's how men behave.
Look, let me say this. Let me say thank you to Honorable Barker, President-elect. Yesterday we were on the conference call. People from Tototown and surrounding villages. And we'll be coming out this week because we have attachment to Tototown. Some of them got relative there, so we know what it meant. But I have said this over and over. I said, personally, we don't like Bond County. He don't like Bond County. When I said it last time, people say what I was speaking about. When the 20 boys got buried in the mine in Bond County, not a word from the president or the vice president. He did the same thing in Nemado for the 5 children when they left in the mine. The president never said a word condolence to those people. Now we see, yesterday, the meeting we had, rough statistics, people that they know that got injured is about 100, I think 139 to 140. Excluding those people, some people have been treated at home who got a first-degree burn. The Red Cross and things trying to go there now in the home to try to identify those people. And people that died up to the present, I think 60 persons have been that graves. It was 50 that the other people buried. Total 60 persons. It happened on the 26th. Are you telling me, do I have a Taylor as an individual? And I sent one word up there to the people of Tototown. And do I have a take the road from Tototown to go to Saneye? That's the only road. Either you go to Phoebe and go down, or you normally take the road from Tototown to go to Saneye. From the 26th, that yesterday, made a brief start, we're going to Banana to dedicate pump. The dedication of that pump, and 60 people have been buried, the people are grieving. Which one is more important? And she said she's making a pledge of $1,000. Joy Hartela can take her $1,000. That woman do not count the Pele people. The Pele people made her, but she had never given back to the Pele people. And then when someone was talking, we say, do not give the woman the power. And people say, we didn't like her. Joy Hartela does not have a hot in Saneye. That she clean, she grew up, she lived there, she went to school there. She go to a hostel in the Lutheran Church guest house. Joy Howard Taylor. And she professed that she came from Saneye. Saneye made her, Bond County made her. In terms of tragedy, why we can't see this woman? Representative Mama breathe. Prince Moyu. The senator
She shared yesterday. That was so emotional.
She slept at the hospital in Phoebe. Prince Moynihan. Why? Joel Howard Taylor, senator, vice president. Where is she? And you got the audacity to start saying you're making $1,000, you're going to dedicate pump. Those people, but it's not strange because Joel Howard, especially we from Lower Bon County, she said we didn't do that. We are deceitful people. She said it before to us. So actually, it's not strange to some of us. We saw she went to Banga and telling about if you don't join GDC, I will dismiss people. And she did fire people. Most of them came from her, from Sunny. They came from all it. Who made you, who gave her father place to sit down? She fired Kine as paramount chief because they refused say to join the CDC. She did it. And that was it for me, Joel Howard. I hope, maybe, I don't know whether she will run for president because maybe that's the only position she can occupy. But with the people from Lower Bon County, she will one day have an answer to her politically if she intends to do anything in that county. George Weah, by me, I always say, I don't care George Weah for me. Hey, I know that he didn't like the people from Bon County. They didn't do anything for him. He didn't do anything for us. In terms of any development, what Bon County got from the leadership, nothing. So for me, his action is not surprising because over and over here, I demonstrate that he don't like the people from Bon County. And Joel Howard support that idea. So this is where we find ourselves. And I will be very vocal on Joel Howard. I don't care what someone says about me. Because we feel that people from Toronto are human beings. Even if you have some disagreement. Where's the leadership? Did you call on Mama Bree? Did you call Primoyo? Did you call Hello? Okay, maybe. But what can I do? Never heard a word from that woman that today, from the 26th to today, and you just stop by to say, oh, I'm going to dedicate pump. So our people's lives and that pump, which one important to Joel Howard Taylor? I mean, she got nothing to lose. The people made her vice president, senator vice president. So, hey, she ain't got nothing to lose. Now, what she had told us that, hey, you people are deceitful people. Because when the people refuse to vote for Mervyn Cole, she told our people from Lower Bon, when the people said, no, we're not vote for Mervyn Cole as senator, she told our people, and this is why she's living up to. But you pass every time you pass, you got to stop to Sunday, total time before you go to Sunday. People from Yabucola, Winter, Bartown, Desire, all the people come to Total Town to the market. They say they come, there's a clinic there. So people are all interrelated there.
Okay, let's leave it there. I know this is a sort of I listened later today onto the podium and she broke down Representative Breach, right? Mema, right?
Now we must slept at Phoebe Hospital. On the night of that incident, she slept at Phoebe Hospital.
So, Sister, you want to speak to that? Terry, you spoke to that already?
Yeah, I mean, I already spoke about the total issue, but I just want my brother Will Ketter to know that the president was not nominated by the newspaper. It was an editorial written by two editors.
I thought my brain was mistaken.
So why would you take two editors read an editorial and the title is President Man of the Year? That's the title. That's the caption. That's the title. And you take it to be an award? It was not a nomination or an award by the entire newspaper. It was an editorial.
LPR analyst. They're going to go by
because they get paid. Maybe they pay someone to do that.
No, what they did, if you read the editorial,
I know the thing.
If you read the editorial, it's a left sketch of George Weah. It's a paid job. You can look at it beyond that. So here's the thing. A daily observer in Liberia, one of the editorial staff, right?
Wait a minute. But you see,
I can go.
You said the president
and say, look, right for me on Facebook.
Where for what? On what?
I said the president is making headway. I
On,
didn't say the president was.
on what?
I said the president was making headway.
You said he was not. He was making headway.
But you
He
said
was
you were
nominated.
He said he
nominated.
was
So, but
he said he was
editorial is a different thing.
Man of the year. That's why I said
Oh.
go back and do the recording. It was the year in it.
So
Yeah,
is it true? It was here editorial.
But I mentioned, I said it was
The thing right now, finish reading the thing.
No.
Editorial.
Says
Why
he
you?
posted. Says that the second time he posted that thing today, and I read it.
Now, I just went on the Post website. I read it directly on the Post website. I researched it. They staff editors.
I was an editorial.
So where's the hair? Where is it? Where is the hair? Where's the big deal in this here? Anybody can do an editorial and anything. And
But
put it
Mr.
out.
So this editorial, most of the time people pay for it.
Of one of Africa's superpower is writing
Oh,
about
come
this
on.
man.
Get it.
They kind of achieve.
What I know, George. What up, no George? We are from the right on George. We are.
People got 1 million readership in the whole of Nigeria. It's not a big deal.
It's not a matter of hate.
And you're
It's,
still beginning. You're still beginning. Let me tell you.
But you see, if we hadn't checked that right, the way Keto introduced that thing, he introduced it like it was a nomination that they made.
Yeah,
That's what
that's
he
how I
said.
heard.
He
but you
said
see,
halfway.
Keto, you see,
He said halfway. In person, we were nominated.
okay, guys, let me too.
I
But
think
Keto, the way you
I think
presented
the
it
correction
here,
has been made, and the facts are
okay.
clear. So we need to make progress.
Right. What I said, the editorial, but I'm telling you, people are recognizing them. Liberians, some Liberians do not understand the importance of this man when it comes
Somebody
to
say we are muted.
But that's not what we're saying.
and that's the problem.
So let's check our stuff. We just say we muted.
Okay, let me see here. Let me see here. What are this person? Hello, caller, are you there?
Yes.
Okay, good evening. What's your name and where you calling from?
This is Sweet Abdul. I'm from Bonn County.
Okay, let's hear you.
I've been listening to the radio tonight.
Hmm.
To a hospital did not stop over there.
I know.
He said it. He only slowed down to good make dedication. And this is a lady who has been job Bonkani to the podium for months from Bonkani for father for Lofa. So she's not from Bonkani, but we are waiting for.
Hmm. You are daughter of Bonn County, correct?
And
So how is this playing out here with this thing? I mean, it's such a sort of a heartbreaking thing to really talk about. We don't really want to throw politics in it, but of course she is a sitting two times sitting senator, correct? 2 times sitting senator of Bonn County and vice president. So
Livingston, Sunday, you pay a total time. When you get a total time, you go up on the left and go to Sunday. Her mother from Sunday, she Livingston. Her father, and that's not the point. Everybody give her what she wanted. That's what she wanted. But what she had done to Bonn County, can ever be replaced? No. That's in my life. Handphone? What is a handphone? Was it too important to stop and see the lives of our people? No, nobody tell me but to have a tailor for
how this whole thing playing out now, knowing all of these things are unfolded?
And if I have my wish, that's okay. However it happened, nothing can be ever but change. Nothing. And she planned it, she knew it, and she planned her power well.
Wow. Well, what about I understand in terms of getting the information out? And Dr. Toto is one of our analysts here, Amos George here. If there's anything that we can help to cement to get them.
Mr. So we'll contact who was supposed to become because last night we had a journalist from Total Time who was reporting on the incident. We had him last night on the conference call from Total Time. So I will call the guy, we'll make the arrangement. So we'll be coming on because we are now raising some funds directly from people from Total Time villages. The other organizations are working, but we try to strengthen that they must liaise with the representative and other people directly from Total Time. Now, so whatever will be raised will be sent to the representative and those people directly from Total Time. They will be able to utilize it. And we're planning that the journalist, the radio station, the guy who is based in Total Time would be on our conference call. So at least to enlighten the people because they are on the ground directly see what is happening there. so he can be
Yeah,
on.
but if there's a planned event, because sometimes these things happen, but you guys are within the inner cycle, if we can dispatch our guy from right Banga, except that Tin Betin and or what's his name, other guy, they can rush there just in case it's just any sort of planned
We're
event.
planning to get in touch with Lpr-Tv because they're supposed to come on. So I'm planning to call you tomorrow so we can have some discussion with you. But we want to make sure that the conference we had last night was they should get in touch with
Why do you want to turn now? Maybe you there.
Who that?
I got to be part of the conversation.
Oh yeah, you're people like
What?
The liberal.
Part of the conversation.
Yeah. Okay, Samson told me part of the conversation.
I didn't want you to be on when you said.
Hold on one second, guys. But you let us know too if I know usually when these things happens, the mothers, the sisters, they are the one that really sometimes move the needle and all of that. If there's anything you plan to do that you think you want to get out in the public, you can call this number, Amos Joy, Dr. Toto. I think this should not be a Bone County affair or Total affair. This is where we should come together as a people, as a country, as a nation. This is how country heals, and this is something that we all can rally. So we are willing to do whatever public relations. If there's anything like a fundraiser, it shouldn't be limited to only Bone County people. I'm sure there are a lot of Liberian, good Liberian, non-Liberians. Those images, I saw the representative, the woman broke down today. I was like, this is
no,
not.
Mr. So it will not be there because we had a meeting last night.
Reef on that sort of mild way. It reminds me 1981, the
landslide.
That landslide, something like this is something is it brings back old memory and stuff like that. So just in case other different groups, organization within the Bone County corridor, they want to do anything, that you guys can reach us here and we can work up something.
Yeah, we saw the Mr. So it's not about total
Yes,
time.
is there anything else you want to point out?
No, I was talking about the total he knows what's on it now. And I told him those who now this is free that day.
Okay. All right. Yeah, so we're here. This is part of our community cause, to do this thing, anything to enhance what you guys doing. You let us know. We can work out things and get it done. Thank you so much. And our prayers and thought goes out to the county leadership, the community, the families, and all of that. This is, look at this time. People life cut short just when New Year. Some of them just, people participated into the electoral process. Their decisions were hard to make their votes will count. Here we are. This is the uncertainty in life that anything can happen. To see where we are, but our prayer goes out to the people that. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
All right. Okay, guys. The time with what? Oh man, why you can't wait for people to call on you to something?
No, Samson don't know the
working this man government will be a hell on earth because you will wait until his employer brings it. You will be all in the offices to see who coming in, who not going, and that's not how it works. Wait until the complaints come to you. Don't be looking for cases.
No, Samson told will be involved because we're looking for money and that the board chairman.
So, come on, Jerry. I thought you were a good man too. You just say you're not correct. You know what? I'm done with you. Okay, gentlemen, let's wrap it up for
Mr. So, I dedicate this whole responsibility to you. I would back off.
No.
This is the time.
I'm not even going to listen to you. So who you back off? Go find money and let's see what we can do. Yeah, man, they're too annoying. Okay, guys, let's do our 1 minute closing. Thank you so much. I don't know. I'm still going to make it public. I know the Christmas holiday, people are busy. Let us start going New Year. But we plan to have it's overdue. And I know it's sort of repetitive, always saying it, but we will be having a meeting. I think 2024 will be some sort of new sense of direction. We saw what some of the posting coming, people just sending things. We're going to do a lot of changes. I'm going to be reaching out to some of you guys for extra volunteering to get more tags. I know some of you played all more full, but we have to do it. I think if we got to set ourselves apart from other people, yeah, to do it differently. And I will run an official website. This Facebook page, it carries the name of the organization, so it's an official media of communication. So things going out there, it has to be verified, well authenticated before posted. It can't just be right putting anything there, some graphics and all of those kind of things. They are community guidelines for Facebook on the thing there, but we can't just have people doing anything. You want to put on your own page, that's okay. So okay, let's do the closing point. Who wants to go first? No, Sister Man, you must be the last.
Go watch my case. Well,
okay, yeah, go ahead.
2023 has been a wonderful year. It's been being on the platform, all of you and all of our many viewers, people who spend their last money to buy data, to listen to us. And sometimes we abuse it. We thought Tabata, but they stick with us. So I want to say a particular thanks to our viewership, the people who stay follow us and listen to us. And don't hold back in checking us and chastising us on this website. And I mean on this platform. And then to all of you, man, it's been great being with all of you on this platform. We laugh, we battle, we come back, and we do what we're here to do. So it's been great being on here. Now, to the president-elect, two things I want you to consider for your inauguration. What's the lady Freeman?
No, we're not taking call again, man. Go ahead.
What's the I forget her first name, Freeman, the lady who saved that kid from the mob violence.
Yeah, mob violence. Yeah.
Should be a special guest of yours, Mr. President, at the inauguration. Highlight her story, so that you call on Liberians to start to see things differently and look at one another differently. I also believe that if you cannot get everybody, but get most of the survivors and the victims of the Toyota incident to be there, to underscore the human power, the will, but to also underscore the need to invest in a lot of services in Liberia. From emergency response to crisis management and to medical care, and even training our law enforcement officers on how to safeguard an accident scene, how to condone an accident scene to keep our residents safe. I think you should bring those up, because we as Liberians, we are, as any other people, we want to see our leaders. We want to see what our leaders take important. And I don't presume to be in the corners of in the corridors of power, but to the extent that anybody listening to me, I will hope Ambassador Joseph Boakai, you would include those people in your at your inauguration to highlight to our people in Liberia that Liberians are a wonderful people, especially the story of Ms. Freeman. And so that will be it. If I don't see you all again, happy 2024. It's been a blessing. I've been blessed beyond measures personally, and I'm grateful to God for all of the blessings, and to my ancestors for continuously watching over me.
Who is the most ridiculous person on this network since you've been here?
Well, I'm still compiling the data. I'm still compiling the data. I'm still compiling the data. The data ain't count all you, so I stay checking. And we gotta wait for the
what do you expect? He's a politician.
No,
are you a person that can't call your name?
No,
you heard what Grand Union County, former Grand Union County, Senator Ambassador, what's his name? Nabo said yesterday on Spoon when they asked him, he said, "I'm an ambassador. I'm a diplomat. What do you want me to say?"
Yeah, waiting for the I get a census report. Then I will look at that and look at my network and see how to figure all that. But I don't have the census.
Bye. I know I'm not gonna get anything out of you. Bye. Okay, Terry.
Yeah. Okay. So thank you guys for the show, and to Mr. So and Mr. Tool, who allowed me to come on this platform in this year 2023. I want to say,
Does Tool allow you or me?
The both of you. That's why I said Mr. So and Mr. Tool.
The thing not working for me.
You guys allowed me to come on the show to partake And now I'm finding myself building a new family with you guys. You guys are very awesome. I learned a lot since I joined you guys. And my senior brother, Sissy, by George, even though we fall apart sometimes, but, and Ms. O'Malley, the consultant, everyone come with a chunk of knowledge to impact the society. And I have already been endowed with a lot of information, especially with the liberal and all his engineering tactics, Yeah, so you guys have been very awesome this year and many years before this year. And that is why I think the show is static and moving forward, and I hope and pray that we will be able to do it better and better and better. I'm looking forward for that. And I want to say Happy New Year to everybody. 2024, prosperous year. We pray God blessings and his riches. But lastly, I want to also say to Ambassador Borka, firstly to Mr. Cummings that, hey, dude, you can come back. You can make a comeback. Don't get frustrated. Don't feel down. You can make a comeback. And my strategy to you is to buy out the CDC. Those boys will be broke in 2 years. Buy them out. That's the only way you will rejuvenate yourself. To Ambassador Borka, thank you very much for going.
Yeah. So, but before you go,
6 months.
6 months. 6 more.
So you extend little extension. Okay. I thought you wanted to go. You want to go? You want to take off now, Sissy? Yeah. Before you take off quickly, let me just make this public proclamations or pronouncement, and the challenge is to us and to our viewers. My last trip this year, 2 times, we tried making an attempt for the FM version, but it didn't work before. That I know it was going to happen. Every government does that. They say the frequency is out. They were not going to give it. And I understand that coming election, nobody going to empower any media if they not, whatever reasons, they're not going to do that. That's of course. But hopefully with a new government coming and the election is way next 6 years, that will give for a good breathing space. We've been operating with SCAD because of the time, that collaboration is still there. But I think we need to stand as a people because we don't want to have like other network people say certain thing and then other sudden they cut you off because they want you to play into their narrative. I'm not all for that sort of children stuff here, but we all got to talk behind the scene and then eventually we can work towards that. This thing LPR must be on ground, just how they get a night. There is no public network in like where people will have their voices to be heard, regardless of their political affiliations. That's our ultimate goal. And a board chair something for is that I can't think when you call kind of you see it showed up high in the air now. Okay, guys, Sister, thank you so much. And look, we are blessed to have you. Terry, thank you for coming on board. We are also blessed. Let's go to Atlanta, Georgia. To my own guy right here in the Ocean State. Amos George.
Yes. First, let me say thanks.
What about outside of me?
Plenty.
I don't see any bad. I don't see any bad side of you.
What? Mr. George.
I will stay and listen to the rest of the analysts close.
You want to call before you go?
No. I just want to look at the rest of the crew. I will sit there and listen to them.
No, who don't want to sit there to hear me talking? Who don't want to sit there to hear me talking?
So, okay, you say, well, no bad side of me, Amos George?
No bad side of you.
What's the good side of me?
I said, if no bad side of them, on the good side, I know of you.
Okay, good. No,
I have not double crossed you to see your bad side, so I can say it.
Okay, so go ahead.
So I want to tell many listeners for spending the money, sleepless nights, falling behind sometimes. We go here and there, but they stick with us. I want to tell them thank you and wishing them a happy new year. And I want to tell Mr. Samson Blokuto and Mr. Soyo Samson To that contacted me to come on the show. Even though he myself would have get on fall down everything, but he brought me and introduced me to Mr. So.
I thought it was me.
No, that's Samson. No. That's Samson too. Don't go there. That's something too.
So you don't want brought me. Yeah, you don't want brought me on this show.
Oh Lord. Okay. So, and to Sissy, with the cream of knowledge that we're learning, that are learning from him, and also to Mr. Malley. And Mr. Collin, you know, Mr. Collin now teaching me the Bible, you know. So
you don't say that.
Oh, God. I want to see the other Bible study. Hey,
I'm calling repetition in one spot now.
I know what that I know what that say. Hey man, let it God take control.
It has been very nice to hang out with you people day and night, and this is a family now we are created. You know, we come here every night, sitting in the eye with one another. That have been like a bond that tie us together, that bound us together as a family. There's nowhere sister will see me say, hey, brother or papi. Colin will not sit and say, no, I know the papi. So that have brought us together as family. And the concern for each other. You see in the chat room, every time something happens, people are posting, sending word out to people. So that alone, it meant a whole lot to me. Having said that, let me flip the coin. To the people of Bon County, especially Total Town, it is a tough time for all of us. Not just the people of Bon County, but as the people of Liberia. Because if one area is affected, I feel that everybody is affected. Because yesterday we were on the conference call, people calling who are not even from Total Town, calling in to say, hey, we are with you people. So that alone, the concern, and tonight again, what you're stressing. And it's not just about Bon County, it's about people from outside of Bon County expressing the concern about what happened to the people in Total Town. So we want to say thank you to everybody. And yesterday again, Mr. So, the two police officers, the police commander, according to what the journalist told us, those two people said the chances of survival is at 10%.
Police officers?
Yeah, the police commander came from Bangladesh. He was not there. When he came, he ran on the scene. While they were there, that truck went exploded. Wow. So you got two police officers now, the general of are in the hospital, very critical.
All right. Okay.
Yeah, so it is a tough thing for us, but we just wish and asking everybody to pray for our people because, I mean, also in the 24 with this kind of thing it's just a hard thing to handle. You know, people don't have anything already to live on, and you'll be partnered with this kind of issue. How can you wrap your hand around it? So it's just a tough time for our people. Yesterday, as they were burying 10%, they buried 10 bodies yesterday. And
it's crazy.
The doctor said that maybe if those people would be there, some people would take 8 months for them to recover. So it's not just small people. I just want to say thank you to everybody. And as we usher into 2024, Sissy's kids, my late daughter, my granddaughter, tell her we love her.
Oh, the Lama Queen?
Yeah, the Lama Queen.
Okay, let's go to my own man here. Jones Otavia Malley is based in the Ocean State of Rhode Island. We are the only two independent voices on this network. Two. The something to the Amos Joy.
Two people that want death penalty for stealing cars.
No. I'm part of that. I want to hear alone. I want that. And I will hear on that one. Okay, Jones, let's hear you. I think our man Keta is here. Keta is one of the persons here, but he will speak for himself. I mean, he's a different type of. There was something to can get under his skin.
Oh, Keta,
he getting mad. He just calm and cool. So Jones, let's hear you.
Well, I think it's been a joyous time. And I think we need to pat ourselves on the back for creating the initiative where we've been able to build what I call a professional family tree. And indirectly or by default, we have become each other's stranger father. I'm sure that this Sissy or Pajoy or Collins or the Liberal decide to travel to Rhode Island, automatically we become his stranger father, but with some little condition, we give him 1 week to sleep. And if he go above that, he has to pay.
The liberal can't come here for the liberal won't forget it.
Yes.
And
to some extent, yes. And to some extent, I think we're able to really persevere to accommodate each other view. And I mean, even though at some point we begin critical, but we're able to persevere, accommodate each other view. And despite all some of the difficult analysis, we're always respectful to one another, and this is one thing that helped to neutralize these profanities, something we don't encourage on this thing. And our issue of sources, it was very strong. And with this closing chapter, and Mr. Goya just threw one down to remind the rest of the crew that here, when we cook in fats, we have to get our sources straight. And I think there's one thing that set us apart, and I think we'll continue with that tradition. And lastly, to the people of Tututa, I know it's a time where the whole issue is just unimaginable, and with the kind of a heart the politicians have right now, like Joel Howard Taylor, I don't understand why that couldn't have been her first priority. I just can't understand at all. I don't know why. And as we said, and I think my brother Keto will come in again, many times when people are killed in Liberia or people disappear, I don't see the president, that empathy aspect of him coming out to say, oh, we want to extend our condolences to this bereaved family. I'm not seeing it. Okay. Even in this great country, with all the divisive politics in this country, the president will console family when there's tragedy. It's one thing I stand to be corrected, but the 6 year, I never saw that happening, especially from the executive mansion. And that is very sad. And on a closing note, I just want to point here that Sese and the Liberal have brought some challenges to all right now. I see new mark before them, and it's like the rest of us, we stay behind. We are still in the 21st century. I think we need to improve our platform right now. The competition started with a Liberal. He got a whole radio studio set up that I can't even imagine. Now Sese has joined him with a green and I'd say, so this is a signal now to the Liberal, to Mr. Collins, to
they're comparing how to upgrade.
Yeah,
the two of them have agreed to
start that we did not upgrade. We're moving into 2024. Just few hours from now. It's sad.
Right.
You're not bring American flag in 2024.
I think we need to replace the American flags with the digital thing to improve our quality of presentation. Actually, I'm envious to do that. I'm not envious to bring them down. And lastly, to the president-elect, I don't know, he came up the last time during the certification, he said, he and Jeremiah, I was so happy when I heard our word with an outline, that means an action plan. We don't know how long it's going to go for, but I was very happy. I want to thank him for that. But my suggestion to the president-elect here that is this. Liberians are not used to reform. Yes. Even the auditing is creating some hard-feeding in the system now. They're classifying it to be all kinds of things. So That being said, I think it would be good for the ambassador to look at the issue of security sector reform. It's very good for him. Say he's trying to introduce reform in our country. Security sector reform is very, very crucial. And secondly, judicial reform. If justice will be in Liberia only for the rich people, that's a problem. So the judicial reform, these are long-term plan, but I hope he will look into it. And the issue of electricity. We forgot to know that electricity is a key to almost everything in the world. No electricity, so many things to happen.
Well, Marlene, let me ask you a question.
Marlene, yes, sir.
But we have surplus electricity was selling some to Cote d'Ivoire this video.
Oh, that portion there, Mr. Goya, that portion is being politicized. I don't want to go inside. I know Keto will come back again. So let's just leave that one open. So the issue of the issue of the avoidance.
Went to Grand Crew.
Yeah, the issue of the avoidance of the issue of the avoidance of the misplacement in government. I hope the president will take note of that. And lastly, employment is an issue. And we're waiting to hear where the president going to really address this issue. Yes. So I just want to thank you guys. Thank everybody. It was a nice time. And we're waiting up to the CEO, our in Liberia. Spoon FM is moving because Spoon FM is sitting on the ground. And trust me, the guy making contact to get anybody on that thing there. But anyway, we can measure arm. We will get there. If only we don't allow the CDC virus to penetrate the platform, the virus of procrastination.
Is that one way to
get there?
What CDC? What CDC?
CDC is spraying a virus of procrastination. I don't want for that virus to enter the platform.
Oh my God. Jerry, you don't?
Yeah, calling.
Okay, welcome to
are you there? Finished, but it's okay.
Oh no, if you no, we can. I'm not a liberal. You finish your point there.
Well, I just wanted to say that my advice to the president-elect, and to Jeremiah Kuhn, I really appreciate him for going there. But I also expected him to have gone there with a VP. So I would say that my advice to the Honorable Man Jeremiah Kuhn to please pay a visit there as well and make your own presence felt. It shows empathy and is a good signal upon the incoming government. That's all I wanted to say.
When the president goes somewhere, the VP after the president.
No.
In most cases, the president and the VP will not travel together.
They will not travel. That's why
it doesn't happen for security reasons.
No. Okay. I would take that.
For security reason, it's not necessary.
Oh, okay.
Keto, let's hear you. What on Keto?
Yeah, I'm here. Well, thank you all for the show. Beautiful conversation, and hopefully we pray to God to enter the new year, even though other places in the world have seen the new year that entered, including our country, Liberia. And we pray that this new administration that is coming in, a lot of good things will happen for our country. We pray for the success of this administration, because if this administration succeed, Liberia succeed, I succeed, everybody on this platform succeed. So we're praying. But we're going to hold this government accountable, the incoming government accountable to deliver on the promises made. We will not stop practicing or demonstrating our democratic rights in our country, and we will do everything possible to be civil. I appreciate this platform for giving me the opportunity to come here and defend the person that I care about, the party that I care about also. But I will be critical.
Who the president?
What President we are.
Yeah, I want other people to know. Okay.
Yeah, President we are. I will be critical once President-elect Joseph Boakai come in, both with the opposition and the ruling establishment. I will be critical because I think that we give people too much leeway, whether we are a part of the opposition or the ruling establishment. We give too much leeway to the extent where we don't see no wrong from anywhere. So I think to have our country move forward is for us to be just, put the country first, not individual first, like President Weah said in his concession speech, that above all else, Liberia, and he denied himself anything that any other person was trying to make him to do. He said, no, we'll not do that. And I learned from that speech. Like I said, there are so many things that we can take out of President Weah administration at the end of his administration that can make our country great. It has made our country great. The rest of the world is looking at Liberia as that place where democracy is ready, gaining ground. And we as Liberians to embrace this movement and run with it, to encourage the next administration to do the same. And after that, this administration and foreign administration to do the same, because President Weah,
the liberal,
he said,
liberal, you're making us jealous. It's not a good thing.
But he said, maybe you're blind, you can't see, maybe you close your eyes to the reality of life. But even this great nation that go around preaching democracy, the great United States of America, the democracy was played with. Okay. It was played with. Today, a former president is going to court because he tried to mess the whole political system out in this nation. So if President Weah, who came from nowhere, had no political education, that he was considered inept, and everything negative about him can be the one that the world look at and praise. We Liberians should be proud and say we're going to follow this man's footsteps. We're going to make Joseph Boakai do the right thing. We're going to make our democracy to shine in Africa like we were once upon a time the shining star of Africa. We're going to make it happen. And moving forward, my people, I said, Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to the LPR family in America, in Liberia, the people that follow us, our fans, our listeners. We say Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year to you all, and let God continue to bless this network. And Mr. So, I'm on board as far as the FM, getting our own FM frequency. I'm on board. Anything I'm here to contribute my own quota.
Okay.
To all the great panelists, my favorite panelist on the thing. It used to be somebody I'm calling at me. I put it aside. It will be Mr. Two. My favorite panelist.
Oh, you bro, when you just say that tone, huh? I would tell you so you don't put you.
I just texted you. Hold on.
Me thank God. Me calling let thank God. We got no favorite here. So all right.
No, the main one pay me. We don't owe me money for the campaign. I help campaign for them. The they owe me. I need my money.
The man whoever they're telling you put your foot in your mother, he your favorite?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Conversation.
And you see how this guy can do backyard deeds. The lip kept Sese and Terry, you listening?
We listening.
This guy is a snake in the grass.
I told you when
he's recruiting on the side with all.
When Sassing told
you,
when Sassing told you good morning.
This is a liberal who told the CDC to the cemetery. Then you say your favorite.
Oh, but he doing a one-on-one over there. Okay, guys. Look,
look, Mr. So, I'm just this very quickly. On a very serious note.
Yeah. Okay. Then.
Thank you, Cover. On a very serious note, this platform has been a platform that challenged all of us in terms of our own intellectual contribution. We come over here from time to time, we put fun, laughed, but when it comes to serious analysis, nobody claims to know all. But when we say these things, when we come out to make the analysis, they are analysis that are coming through from our mind, and we are very serious about it. I also want to thank all of you. Yeah, we joke, it's a board chair and what have you. The real board chair, I'm just a fly-by-night board chair. The real board chair Jaru Massacre is in Monrovia. We
Mickey,
have a
proximity.
station manager, Nathaniel Crypoor, who always in the back of the behind the scene, putting a lot of things together here. And I also want to say thank them. I want to thank Mazula as well, who has his own program. He's another person who is just on surface, just like all of you. But I think those of us that consider ourselves to be analysts here, I think our involvement, from my perspective, our involvement on this platform has elevated the conversation immensely in a positive direction. And sometimes we disagree. Mr. Soon-to-be Dr. Jones would say I'm being subjective based on my own subjective analysis, but we disagree with him on those things. He comes out, I want to bring back capital punishment. We heavily debate those type of ideas. But overall, I think we're in a position to improve, and we're in a position of doing what we have to do. And I think what I really admire about this platform is allowing ourselves, especially me, to make a fool out of myself from time to time, without any of you trying to say, "Oh, I distance myself from you." That kind of statement making it so ridiculous. I don't want to be part of it. You know, those are the kinds of things that really get some of us anxious to come in every day. The audience, it doesn't mean that you don't have anything to do, but the fact that you come out here to watch us, like I said for myself, making fool out of myself before you, coming here at this late age, still dancing as though I'm in EJ Raw, and yet still you guys continue to follow. It's amazing. And I'm very, very much grateful for that.
You missed the talent show those days, eh?
Yeah. As we're about ready to go into the next year, to the panelists, the only challenge that I will put out there for all of you is that we have to do what we have to do to have this platform improve. If you have the ability to get yourself a decent camera, decent lighting condition, will be very good. If we can do those things, they'll be fine. And next, another challenge is for us to, each of us, to see if we find a topic and that perhaps you can come here sometime and be able to host your own topic conversation that we're all going to come in and gravitate towards you to support your topic and support your show, whatever it is. We can do that because two people, Mr. Soul and Sissy, I know lately, and I'm not going to fault him because, like I said, his age, when I was that age, you won't even catch me on these type of platforms discussing library issue. I was in the street. So to see a young man like this, not only is he not in the street, but that he's helping to put Liberia on the map. In his endeavors, in his career, continue to strive for the best. And so if he doesn't have the time to contribute, we understand that. And those are kinds of stuff. But in the other way, he's also helping. So, Mr. Soul, thank you for your leadership. We really, really do appreciate it. I think with your leadership, we're moving this goalpost to the higher level. LPR will always be here to do what we do come next year, 2024. We will do the best we can to support you with your conservative idea, which many of us don't agree with. But in terms of leadership, we will support you. But that doesn't mean you're going to
Who the man?
To accept your ideas. That's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. And Mr. Next year, Mr. 1%, from now on, your name is 1%. Just letting you know, so you will know. But from now on, I am no longer going to refer to you as Mr. George, unless behind the scenes on this. Huh?
So by next year, will still be 1% or will go down?
Wait a minute now. Who is the 1%?
Mr. George.
You want to join in?
That's a new name. I'm giving him 1%.
You know, Ella Cummins' son, why would you be calling him that name?
Mr. So, I'm entitled. That's my view.
Okay.
So, next year, Mr. George, be ready. I will call you 1%. And if I somehow, if you can come behind the scene and throw $50 or so on my way, I will give you guys.
Auntie, you get a $50 out.
So go ahead. The 2024 from January 1
you can call your 1% for now. The 24.
It's a 1%.
Yes, sir.
Oh, then how you gonna get? How you gonna run with it now too?
Oh yeah.
me, I want ANC trouble, yeah, and I put in my boy no percentage stuff.
I say I'm not in that trouble with liberal. I'm not supporting you now.
That's me, your mess.
So,
Hey.
Walter Carter, if you're listening, please try to reach out to Aaron Bradford. Let him get in touch with us this coming year. I mean, we really are concerned. Want to make sure that it's okay.
Something you see, a good or girl family, right? You see what my sister is saying? All your people, no, you don't got nobody.
What do you mean I got nobody?
What are you looking for?
Mr. Todd.
You're looking for a quote.
Then I stop me, Mr. Todd. That 1% topic should stay in 2023. I will not talk about it again, Mr. George.
Well,
no more 1%.
That I'm you.
All right, thank you so much, sister.
Look, guys,
yeah, thank you so much. I think we have done something extraordinary here in terms of holding ourselves accountable, and it's just not only leaders. Everybody come here. We have created traditions where quality is maintained on this network. We're not so much of the quantity. The quality is what matters. That's what people takes away, and that's why everybody you see come here. They look decent. I mean, there's so many ways you have that sort of appealing system goes with the audience. And to all of those that are followers, to the rest of the analysts, Koto is not here. Esther, I don't know why the ANC thing kind of drive her crazy too. She wants a compulsory leave study. We can see her. Hopefully, people are going to get over it. Dr. George Toto, Marley Jones, Ceci, Terry, look, you guys are so great. We hope to do more. We are open to criticism and to our analysts. This is why I get upset when the liberal is watching to see who write his or comment, and if it doesn't go their way, it's a so black the person I tell him no. So I'm not going to be just take instruction. We're not going to sanction voices. We are not going to leave people behind. There's a reason people have the right to agree and disagree with us, and that's the system we should adopt. And people from bringing caveat. Of course, political views must be respected, and we must be able to have these national conversations. Thereby, we'll be able to find solution, and that's exactly what we are doing here. And trust me, things that we do here, do not overlook it. My last 2 trips to Liberia, I said it before. When I got there, I don't know this person. People get a lot of followers. This person inboxed me. Oh, Mr. So. Yeah, can we meet? Oh my goodness, what the heck going on here? I try to look at the person profile. Can something just a follower? Why the guy telling me to come meet? Like real time a day. So I told my boy Mark, I said, okay, well, you can refuse what behind the call, but you gotta be strategic in doing things. Can you imagine somebody that you don't know a person bought me a purple suit because when I do a car, almost like $75, simply because this person. Yeah, I said it before, something, right? You remember, Mikey? He said, "Why I didn't do it?"
Accuse you.
Yeah, and that's not the only instance. The second one was all road driving, and my car had issue going to fix the tire, and it's 2 persons. The only thing we felt apart was this other person happens to be the fan of the laborer.
Oh no!
When you have little punching your tire, what did a juke do stop there like a $10?
The
person who stays in that one, and that guy said, no, Mr. So don't pay. I said, what do you mean? He said, well, watch you guy. But the only thing that the problem I have with you, you can shop war and shop. You want to shut the labor down and the labor now. I like, seriously? Are you a fan of that guy? And he said, yeah. Like, okay, you know what? I give him. So this is to show things that we do here.
Fighting for
you.
You.
It's little, but people are listening and people are watching. So this is why when we come here, we got to be very, very, very careful. You may not know them, but they recognize you and they can, come to you. But guys, I want to say thank you so much for everything. And let's see how the 2024 going to be. Marley Jones.
Mr. So, I'm having a show tomorrow.
You what?
I'm having a show tomorrow.
Oh my God!
But tomorrow is Monday, so it's not strange. So why will you make it like exercising authority now?
Yeah, why are you putting on your boxing gloves so early?
How we're going 2024, I'm not going to back down. We
Is
will
it
go
acting
there.
or is
Anyway,
it acting
to Mr.
Okay.
So and Mr. Goya, can you people please educate us and send all that link how we can get some of the modern thing that they think are too shameful.
Oh no, Male, you just add this.
This guy camera that he bought, you know how much for it?
No, pa joy.
Male, the camera Samsung told he bought, you know how much for it?
No.
It's $3,000 plus. I'm
Yeah,
saying that right.
Yeah,
That's a
you see,
nonsense.
yeah.
You see, he there bluffing when he read it, then he's zooming.
Is that the 360 camera?
Moderator.
What's the name of the camera, Samsung?
Moderator. We'll get a
But what we're going to do now, so I will need you guys support by right. Technically, that camera is supposed to be in Muse Studio, so we have to preview.
That's what I was thinking.
What studio?
It's going to be with Mr. So, so I don't know because
it's going to be in the Muse Studio.
That one.
No. If you go that direction, there the rescue will backfire.
Because it seems like the label didn't know how to do
my camera, that 45 camera, my microphone, the whole arm display that system.
No, but they the message,
I think the rest of us need to go the direction of Mr. Goya because they think here now they're 3,000. I don't know what they're doing, what they're taking that bait in the air. I don't even know.
So but Male,
the man are engineer. The man are, you know what I mean, to be an engineer for a whole state.
The man last name like EO. That man got
reason, let me explain this. Let me explain it, please. Just give me 1 minute. The reason the intent was to put a blackboard over here where I'll be doing some drawing and stuff. And I will use this like this to come and focus on and the camera also follow your movement, the movement of whatever area you're moving.
But wait a minute now.
That camera is not.
Do you have that other technology that bring you back and forth?
I can't answer that one play with that.
That
camera is too sophisticated for that work you're doing, bro.
You're not serious. I thought you were going to sympathize with my position.
No, you're doing well. That camera there. That camera.
I'm telling you, what's the name of the camera? Something
diving. Those guys that ride bikes because the camera, I think it's 360. It turns around. You know that the 360 camera.
It's almost like a robot.
You gotta follow me. It's called the follow me option. You gotta follow me option. So
that's a very good camera, there, Libra.
But we got that camera needs to be relocated. That camera needs to be relocated.
Mr. Moderator, this is a serious challenge to you because it seems to be Mr. Toe is trying to encroach on your title.
He's trying to overthrow you.
You're talking plenty now. Good night. Bye-bye.
Make me start Guinea Bissau with you.
Okay, guys.
Happy New Year, folks. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
All right, guys. Bye-bye. Okay, well, folks, that's how we're going to leave it. We want to say thank you so much to all of our viewers, our followers, your comments, your interactions. We have learned a great deal of lesson from all of you. For those of you been missing for quite a while, good to have you here. Just follow, like the page, subscribe, and to the rest of the analysts. Koto is not here tonight, Dr. Toto, and all the other team in Liberia. I will say thank you for the ultimate sacrifices you continue to render. And those of you that have supported or directly, indirectly, be a finance, by turning in, we are just, we are happy with whatever you do. You know, we know money business is tough here. You can't just get out and give your money. There must be a reason. This is why we just do not ask for it. When we ask, there must be a reason why we want to use it. We don't just get and throw cash out or Zelle or GoFundMe. None that we don't have it, but there must be a justifiable reason. And we are gradually getting to that point. But we appreciate your showing up here on a daily basis to discuss, to talk about our country and the level of political tolerance that is exhibited here, not just only with the analysts, but to the viewers, the followers, the interactions, agreement, disagreement. But it's been done in a civil context. This is what happened in a civilized society. You can agree and disagree. They don't put you in a ring for you to go fight. You make your case. Why you think this is a blue and this is a white, and how these combinations get together to arrive at that color in a chemical process. And that is very good. Seditions, Liberty Party, this, that. It's all about Liberia. It's all about Liberia. We must hold these politicians accountable. The success of the incoming president is just not only within himself, though he has to drive that agenda. He needs to set that standard. It is the same way. You people give bad advices to your leaders, and when they make those decisions, then you walk back. If you have the guts, even the person that you support, when it is necessary to raise your finger, yes, I support you, yes, I support your campaign, but I just do not agree with this policy. Nothing wrong with that, as long as it's done in a respectful context. And that's what we should be doing. And this is why we respect all views here. All of them have their political side, which is okay. So we need to dip into their mind as to why they are supporting these people they are supporting. And this is why when they come here, we ask them to declare, to make their intentions known. Let it come from themselves. We are not going to circumspect to guess to say, oh, because you're talking this way, you are this person. And this is what people do. And I think it's wrong. People have the right to support which party, whoever the person, just as you have your right. You have to be persuasive. If you think that person is on the wrong side of history, you have to make the case as well. So do not question, do not silence, do not cut off people because they have a different political views, different from that of yours. And then you say you want to cut them off. I think that is unfair. We tend not to be judgmental on this network. I don't care how bad it is. You might see it. Perception is not a fact. So we give people the opportunity until they themselves can say it. Then of course, so we can't come here and draw the conclusion. This is what this person did, when we are not giving that person the opportunity to hear from them, to get their version of it. In as much it will sound bad in the eyes of the public, but it is our job to reach out to them. Until then, to all of our viewers, we say thank you so much, and we say a happy 2024. For some of you, some of us, credit on life support. Hopefully 2025, there will be an intervention, good money, good pay raise, every good thing that we want in life. If for any reason you cut off from somebody for whatever reason because they disagree with you, let it go. Let's 2023 wash it away and move forward. Don't just take things so hard to the end of the world. That doesn't work. Have a pleasant evening and be safe as we all go into 2021. Bye-bye.
Le très ancien Yves Canet, à Seigneur-Okaï. Le grand frère Oura Michael. Allons seulement. Passez maintenant à On edge here, oh, yeah, way, okay, now, I'm on that be a block. Oh, yeah, more, but you can you don't let us one for the so I put the guy and try to get back. More, yeah, way, go it. What was I? Wait, yeah, you didn't do so, yeah. As long as I'm not going away, for me, as I you want to suffer the way. So this it was the way that you felt some more. The way there was someone dear. When I near you in a kind of come on. I had your money, but the way I'm waiting. Merci beaucoup, grand-père. À tout coup, Benjamin. Toi, les gars, ça au niaou. Apparemment, du Parlement. Monsieur le maire, Jésus, applaudis. Le président de Paris, on est ensemble. Le fédéral, Lucien Firmin, président Cissé Barthélemy, Maïs Fan, président des jeunes du Cuba. Merci beaucoup.